two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt McClusky. What's going on, Sarge?
This is the first time I've ever started the show, and I immediately wanted to time somebody out.
Let me guess who it is. Travis. Is it Travis?
I'll hold back for now. I'll let my pain pill work.
Sarge is on a pain pill. We're here live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on 30 NSG. We cover some gaming topics, top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. You can listen to us, watch us over on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and anywhere else a podcast is listened to. We do appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us live. If you're watching this after the fact, we do appreciate you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. On today's show, we're going to be talking about what we've been playing. We're going to be talking about Bungie is changing Destiny's 2's approach to content. We're going to talk about voice actors, and the union has signed deals with 80 individual games as strike continues. We're going to talk about Starfield's New Planet, has over 50 new locations, Bethesda reveals. We're going to talk about Concord.
What that really means is 50 new locations for Star Wars.
That's right. With Concord servers now closed, fans wonder if it'll return, but one of the experts has doubts. We're going to talk about a Sega Dreamcast trading cards, 25-year anniversary of thing, which I kind of think is weird because I know it existed at one point,
did you say Dreamcast trading cards?
I did say trading cards. Okay. We're going to talk about Sony's patent hints for a new VR headset. We're going to talk about the PlayStation Portal. I talked about this earlier this week, Sarge, in the morning stream. People told me PlayStation Portals were selling like hotcakes. We're going to give you the hotcake number for the U.S. Version. Maybe the rest of the world sold 20 million copies, but in the U.S. it didn't sell very well. We're going to talk about the PlayStation 5 Pro. A lot of people... This is the hottest topic this week, Sarge. The PlayStation 5 Pro. We're definitely going to talk about the people hating it, people loving it, people don't know where it's going, they look where the industry's going.
What flag am I supposed to wave for this one? Am I supposed to wave the pony flag for this one, or am I supposed to wave
you can pick one, doesn't really matter.
Xbox flag? What am I supposed to do on this one?
I think as a consumer, you would wave the flag of F no. Right? I mean, I don't know why anyone would want to pay $700 for a console.
Keep going with your opening. Let me focus. Go ahead.
Ubisoft is going and promising to bring offline support for the Crew 2 and Crew Motorfest since the Crew 1 is gone. What else we got here? We have a new tier. We have a new standard tier in the Xbox Game Pass area, so we'll talk about that a bit. We're going to talk about Space Marines 2, and we're going to talk about the disaster that is known as Borderlands the movie. It's done. It's done. They removed it. Like, it was in theaters still after the 2 weeks, right? But now they officially removed it from theaters, and the grand total, we'll talk about that disaster.
You do know I watched that movie on YouTube for free, right?
Yes, and I did too. We talked about it last week. Okay.
I just want to make sure it wasn't some kind of strange time warp.
No, and then we're going to talk about Minecraft movie, because last week on this show, Sarge, the trailer came out on Tuesday last week. Okay, Tuesday last week. We had a show last week, and on the show last week, at the end, we said, how long will it take them to fix the trailer? And I said 1 week. Yeah. It was less than a week. It was 3 days. It was 3 days, and someone changed it and fixed it. So
there was even a better one after that one. There was even a better one.
No, both of them came out 3 days at the exact same. Yeah, it was both of them came out at 3 days. We have one. I like it better than the other one because the mouths and stuff move and whatnot. So that's what's on today's show. So let's get to what we've been playing. All right, Sarge, another week. What games you been playing? You got to be playing a lot. You got a hurt arm and you're not working. So
yeah. I forgot to tell you that I
did you play
I grinded my
3?
teeth. I grinded my teeth so bad that one of my teeth fell out. Did I tell you about that?
Jesus Christ! What is your warranty up? What's happening to you?
Yep.
One of your teeth fell out.
Yeah, I grinded my teeth and that's it.
Jesus. Yeah, you like that new emote, guys? Marky Mark's using it. That's the new salt emote. That's Sarge just screaming.
So it's first thing you have to understand is I don't like pain pills because I don't think straight. Right? I just don't. So I have been playing more games because I have nothing else to do, but I can't stare at the TV like all day. So I have to separate myself and I do some stock stuff during the day. And then when I'm tired of sitting in the chair, then I lay back on the chair, the couch, and then or the bed, and then I play some games. So currently, the circle is Total War Warhammer 3. I am playing a Bretonia campaign currently. Learning how to use the Uber cavalry and learning to sacrifice peasants like they're cockroach people. Game's very hard when you play it even on normal. You have to know what the pieces of the game do to actually like succeed. You just can't stomp through the game. Then I'm playing Dawn of War. Then I'm playing Travis has got that in my brain now. Then I'm playing Dune Spice Wars. I play that.
Oh, you went back to Dune Spice Wars.
Well, it's whatever I kind of like go to. It's like whatever the mood like kind of takes me to. I did play First Descendant for some strange reason. There's a First Ascendant or Descendant. I can't remember.
The First Descendant. Yeah.
Like
There is the thing called the Ascendant, which or no, that was that twin stick shooter one. What was that? The Ascent. The Ascent. That's what it was called.
Yeah. So I played that for a little while, and once again, it kept leaving that Destiny taste in my mouth, and I'm like, I can't do this. Just can't do this. Minecraft. I was playing Minecraft for a while because I wanted to see the $10 realism mod, so I got that. Played a few matches with some hardcore people in Axis and Allies. Love that game. And then I got the mods for Dawn of War 2. I got the mods.
Okay.
And if you get the mods to that game, they give you a more character roster. And when you play online, most people who are playing online also have that mod. So it kind of works out well because you get to see like all the good skins, the good teams. Like, I don't know, that I think the guys who did the skins for that game are like on the money. Like you could pick like the standard like the Ultramarines or the Blood Angels, but like some guys got the Space Wolves in there and the skins look really good, and they got a couple different Chaos God armies. It's not just one Chaos God. It's all four: Khorne, Nurgle, Zeech, and Lanesh.
Say Nurgle? Is that what you said? Nurgle?
Nurgle. Yeah, it's. I will. There's so many games that I'm still comfortable playing without having to go through all the new stuff, right? Like I think about it. I think about it often. I just go on Gamepass and go, what do you guys got on here today, right? I still haven't gone back to finish the Mafia game, and I like that game, right? That's how much time is being spent trying to figure out what to play, right? Because most of these games that I play, like you play a match of Dune Spice Wars, it's like 2 hours, 3 hours, right? I'm playing like Total War. Let me explain something to you very carefully. If you play a Total War game on any difficulty level, that game basically is the Hoover of the time sucking of all time, right? You are playing that game and you're like, oh, it's just only turn 6. Oh, it's been 4.5 hours. Oh, it's only turn 12. Oh, it's been 12 hours. Like what is happening? What is happening? Like there are just games that. Right, and then in between, when I'm feeling a little depressed, I'm like, God, games suck. Right, and I'll watch some. I have these trailers saved on my YouTube watch list of like all the cool trailers of like games that should be coming out cool or games of the past. The trailers of those games, like just to make you feel good about games again. Like I still like, even though nothing's been shown, I still like the trailer for Mass Effect It's Mass Effect nothing. All you know is they're making a Mass Effect, and it's just in the snow, find the emblem, show her face briefly, and then just the music gives you like the little tingles. You know,
What do you mean Mass Effect? You're talking about the old?
There's a trailer for the new Mass Effect. This Mass Effect's coming. Like just
you're talking about the new one.
Trailer. Teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the music, right? Then I have like a couple like Halo things in the background. Sometimes I watch that, just like the old Halo trailers and stuff. Like, I don't know, man. It's so bizarro. And then couldn't sleep one night, and I fell into the rabbit hole. It was on the Steam page. Ooh. Let me tell you something. When you're bored and you look on the Steam page for games, you're in trouble, bro. You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
You're in trouble, meaning you there's too many games that you want to play, or
way too many games. Yeah. Way too many games. You know what game I played, and it runs in DOS. I found it. It's hacked. It's on one of those freeware sites. It was a game called, now some of the old people in this chat probably know what it is, but it was called Rescue Raiders, right? It was called something else later, but it was called Rescue Raiders, right? And so all it is, you used to be able to play online with somebody, but I think the hacked version you can only play against the computer, right? So all it is there's keyboard commands. Your guys start on the left and they move to the right. The enemy guys start on the right and they move to the left. And by you pressing the keys, right, you send out a tank, you send out infantry, or you send out something. And then you yourself are controlling a helicopter, and the helicopter's got bombs and missiles. And basically, it's just a side scroller. Right?
I'm going to bring it up.
Do you actually have it?
Well, yeah, it's the internet.
It doesn't matter. It's probably so old, bro. Right?
You're talking about this right here.
Let me see.
Look, it's so old, Sarge. I don't even have to. Yeah. Like, you're not missing anything behind the screen of us because it's standard 4x3.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Of course, it's it.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Yeah. This looks like no big deal, but like
look at the mini map up on top.
Oh no, that's the shitty version. You got to pull up the better version. The one I was playing much better. That's like from the Commodore Apple II game.
I'm sorry.
Apple IIc days.
Did you want the remastered version?
Yeah, this
is Rescue Raiders from the Apple II.
No, bro. No.
Right,
anyway, so you have to move the guys. They move by themselves. You can't control them. So basically, it's the order. It's the order of things that you play, that you send. Yeah, it's a better version. Anyway, it's an old fucking game, right? I played that, right? That's how bored I am.
But that's all you're getting.
I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind.
That's all you're getting, chat. Yeah. I can't find the other one. Everything's at Apple II.
Horrible version, bro.
Sarge has got. We're living in a time frame, Sarge, with more games that we know what to do with, and you're playing fucking Rescue Raiders.
Well, it doesn't look that bad. The one I have looks awesome. It's in high res.
What's it called now?
That's what it was called.
It's called Rescue Raiders.
There's another version.
The only one I can see is the
don't worry about it.
1984 Apple IIc in 60 frames per second.
Well, at least it's 60 frames. But the chopper wasn't. It was not white. It was a green chopper. The tanks are all painted. It's all got good skins on it. The little explosions, guys are dying. Yeah, it's.
Oh wait. Nope, that's the cover box art. That looks.
Don't
really
worry about it. Don't worry about it. Listen, I'm the old man here, right? I still play Skyrim, right?
Okay. Right? People are complaining about graphics inside of Outlaws, and you're playing Rescue Raiders. I love it.
But it doesn't look like that, though. It doesn't look like that. I couldn't play it if it looked like that. I couldn't play it if it looked like that.
What else you been playing? What's going on, John?
Well, I haven't been playing Baldur's Gate 3. I can't get in. I can't get myself to sit down and play it.
It's too daunting? Is that what you're saying? It's too daunting?
I'm not sure. I don't think it's daunting. I just there's certain. How do I explain this?
I know what you feel like. That's why I don't play any of Assassin's Creed. That's why I don't play Witcher 3.
There's certain moods of games, something that locks me in, that keeps me interested in the game, and I have to be in the right frame of mind to go through it. It's not just some sitting around pressing buttons. Like Baldur's Gate 3 is not sitting around pressing buttons. You got to be thinking about everything, like the armor, your thing, where you got to go. I don't just sit there and press buttons.
We're not that old, Todd. We're not that old. I hit the 0. I'll fix it. Yeah, episode 4010. Well, we'll be here. We'll be here by that point, but it's definitely not 4,000.
I'm sure the hacked version's under a different name, and that's why you're bringing up the Apple IIc shit instead of. By the way, that's one of the best games next to Wings of Fury. Wings of Fury was amazing.
Wings of Fury. Wait, that was
You were a Hellcat fighter taking off from an aircraft carrier.
Yes.
You had to kill Japanese islands and Japanese zeros.
You can't do that now.
Why?
Somebody would get offended. Yeah, somebody would get offended.
Well, it's World War II.
Well, why are you attacking? Why are you attacking the?
Stuff.
You can't attack the Japanese anymore.
Oh God. Do you know how many games I'm staring at? I had to put them in a box and put them in the closet. I couldn't stand. Like I've got over like 300 games of just stuff, just things, just so much, right? I flip a coin once a week. I flip a coin 2 out of 3. If I get 2 out of 3, I call it 2 out of 3. I play Skyrim for a few hours, right? With full mods. I play mods, all kinds of mods. It's great.
Paul's got a question for you. He's like, "What do you mean you need to be in the mood for meeting with the bear?"
I'm not. I'll be honest with you, Paul. I've tried a lot of things in my life, but bestiality is not one of them, and I'm just not into all that crazy shit. Like
32% of the people did it when they put those
That's because for shits and giggles, I'll press the button. But if I give them a bear, they're not going to just volunteer to fuck it. Like, it's not how it's going to work, man. It's not like the male version of man or bear. It's like that's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
All right. What else? What else have you been playing? Anything else?
How much do you want me to do? I play a lot of stuff.
I just asked the question. What did you play this week?
I played Division 2.
Now I have a question. Did you play longer than 2 minutes with each of these games?
Yes. I didn't do the Atari 2600 thing.
You put it in. You're like, oh, I'm so excited. You're like, I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah. Keystone Capers. One mission, you get killed, and you're like, oh, I'm done. Maze Craze.
That's it. 2 mazes, 3 mazes tops. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's just you mentioned this in one of your shows the other night, but the way that kids are now, right? If a kid, not your kid, just a kid's
my kid.
A kid's first game ever playing is Spider-Man 2.
Right. Where do you go from there?
That's his first game.
Right. Where do you go from there?
2 is his first game.
That's right. Where do you go from there?
First game ever. Let's say he's like 9 or 10. He likes video games, but he's been playing like that Mario stuff. And then like the first big game he plays is Spider-Man 2. Right? I got news for you. He's fucked.
Yeah.
He's fucked. Right? He's got nowhere to go. Everything after that, he's gonna bitch and moan. It's garbage. It's garbage.
Yeah.
Right?
We don't think about that though. A lot of people don't think about that.
I played Pong. Right? And then I've watched everything since Pong.
That's right. That's what I said the other day. We started with a pixel being kicked around from 9 pixels. Just this. This is the first game we got. Woo! Yeah. Right? I went to an arcade. Oh, you saw it.
First game. Yes.
You saw the arcade.
I sent you the video of the arcade one.
No. There's an arcade with a Pong table. It's a physical Pong. It's a giant table, and you pay quarters for it, and it's a giant realistic Pong. And I'm like, this is where we've gone. We've taken Pong from this, and we made a giant arcade machine of Pong
with a physical bar.
Physical bar and a ball. Yeah.
It's
called foosball.
Right. So what I'm saying is it's going to be very hard to maintain the attention grabbing ability of a generation of kids where their first game is like a Spider-Man 2, as opposed to some of us who've been playing games since the beginning, right? And you guys still get excited for shit on a stick. It's like I'm like looking at half this stuff. Like, I don't even know what you guys are looking at.
It's a great game. That was on the what system? Shit on the stick. What system was that on? The Jaguar. It's probably on the Jaguar.
It was on multiple systems. Shit on a stick. What you don't get though is like the growth of gaming was always the games that they could actually make, bare minimum. Then it was copying the games that were in the arcade, right? Because that basically you could play the arcade games in your house. That was like a big thing. That was a whole like 5 or 6 years of that shit, right? Then it was the immersion of the first person shooter, right? Then it was the immersion of the RPG, right? Like I've seen everything. So like when someone goes, "This is the greatest game ever," I'm like, okay, I don't. All right. Like Do you know that one video of them showing you what like the realism is of the next shooter? They showed that thing, and basically it was like somebody with a GoPro running around with a gun, and I'm like, that's not an actual computer graphic with AI. That's somebody with a GoPro running around a deserted Russian base or something with an actual Glock in his hand running around. He's like, nope, this is an actual video game. I'm like,
Yeah,
you know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the like, body cam, I think it's called, isn't it? That's what it's called, chat, right?
That was the game. Like, you're telling me that's an actual game. Like, that's what the game's gonna look like. And I'm like, okay, if that's what the game starts to look like,
look,
then you have my attention.
No, look, this is what it looks like.
Then you have my attention.
What was that game called? It was called Body Cam, right? It was a first-person shooter, the realistic one?
Fake. It was fake.
That's not fake.
It had to be fake, bro.
It's not.
It's just some dude with a GoPro running around with a Glock in his hand. Come on, man.
That's not. It's a real game.
You can't tell me that we've gone for the graphics that we have now to that, and nobody's.
It's called unrecord. Yeah, no, this is it. Oh no, it's body cam. Yeah, 3 months ago. This is actual footage. This is not. This is not
the body
fake.
cam is real. Yeah.
This is it. This is the footage.
Yeah, I don't mean it's fake. Like, it's not a video game. What I'm saying
is it is a video game.
Oh my god, can't be.
Yeah, this is a video game. Yeah, this is 100% a video game.
If this is where we go next, then I'm excited.
But
I want to know why no one's talking about this every fucking day. We're talking about the PlayStation Pro every day.
A lot of people
talking
don't want
about this.
A lot of people don't want this.
It's too realistic for them.
It's too realistic.
That's correct.
Right. It brings it too close.
Too real.
Yes.
Yes.
It breaks.
Yes.
It's like super immersive. It's gone so immersive that it's now off-putting for people.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You want to shoot people for real, but you don't want to shoot people for real? Is that how it is? I want as close to being shooting real people as it is, but then I don't want to feel the guilt of actually shooting real people. Is that the line we're talking about now? So we're not even talking about graphical fidelity anymore. We're talking about that if you make me feel guilty for shooting another human being, we've gone too far now. Like, that's the line. Not the graphics are too good. Look, I feel guilty.
Krusty brings it up. Look at Cyberpunk's mods. These are mods inside the game. Look at this motorcycle. Right, this is a mod inside of Cyberpunk right now.
Yeah, but
look at these cars.
Computer.
Look at these cars. Right? I don't like the term when they're saying hyper realistic. It's just realistic. Realistic. It can't be hyper realistic. It's just realistic. It's so real. It's realistic.
That's too choppy. He's moving around. It's too choppy.
Yeah. People don't want it to be.
Him getting on that bike right now is not the same with that picture I just saw of the bike in the alleyway. That was a real bike in an alley. That wasn't computer graphics.
They're showing you little by little. Which here, let me see if I can find more. This is like the normal, and then they do like a realistic.
No, Travis,
one.
You're incorrect. At that point, you're a psychopath, not a sociopath.
I still haven't played this game. Still haven't played this game.
It's actually pretty good, bro.
I'm sure it is. Again, I didn't play it because it was a bad game. I played it because the company lied to my face.
Yeah, it's. I think they're going to use. I think they're going to use that kind of first-person shooter to train the military. Because I think what.
Oh sure. Well, they already used that. I can officially tell you they already use stuff like that.
Absolutely, they have to. Right, the military gets this stuff before we do.
Yeah. So, all right, I've been playing a lot less games than you. Okay, I played a game called Space or Star Trucker.
I win.
Okay.
I saw Space Trucker.
Yeah, I played Star Trucker. It's Star Trucker, not Space Trucker. You're in space, but it's Star Trucker.
Sorry, Star Trucker.
This game I enjoyed, right? Because you guys know me. I like playing the Snow Runners, the farm sims, the American Truck Simulators, right? They do a couple different things in this game, which I think is neat. Like you can get out and you can fix your truck when it's damaged and whatnot. It doesn't hold your hand whatsoever. So like when you're going around, it doesn't tell you shit or how to get somewhere. You're like, okay, I got to go to this marker, but there's roads like blocked off. And the reason you want to take those is because there's space debris everywhere else, right? So you can fly through the debris fields, and look how shitty my truck looks right now that I'm fixing because it got destroyed by junk in space, right? So you want to use the main highways and stuff to get through your process.
I'm sorry, you're in space, right?
That's correct.
What do you mean by it's blocked? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I can't drive someplace in space
Wait,
because
well,
it's
I'm telling you,
blocked by debris.
there's debris everywhere. The lanes where the highway is like the clear path, but they're longer to get around.
So humanity is basically fucked up space now.
Right. So this is a brutal game, right? It looks like a fun little game. Now I played on normal. There is insane mode and there is like just driver mode and there's customization. I played on just a normal difficulty. And the money that you're getting in the game, okay, is not enough to keep your truck running, right? Because every time I fill up my tank, it costs me $1,500 in the game.
That's because you're moving the wrong kind of product.
All right, I guess so. $1,500 every time I fill up my tank. You got battery cells and stuff draining at all times. You need oxygen, right? I went to one spot and my cab was getting frozen, so I had to put my heat up all the way, and I died. Right, like there's a lot of stuff going on in this game, and it's like
it's a survival game. It's not a business game. It's a survival.
It's a survival game of being inside a trucking business, right? So
how do you ruin space?
Well, we're humans. We can do anything. If you put your mind to it, we can do anything, Sarge. The graphics in this thing, I was playing on the Xbox Series X. They're really good. I love the visuals of this, right?
When the aft thrusters are firing, that's cool.
Yeah, when you see the planet below you, when you're looking on my screen, on my television screen, like it's super resolution, I'm like, oh man, I'm getting a little like afraid of heights a little bit. Like it feels like you're out in space. It's really cool. They have like a highway system of teleporters. You got to line up. You got to sit there for a couple seconds until it goes green, and then you pull the switch, and then you do like Millennium Falcon where you're going through hyperdrive. Okay. It's cool. It really is cool. Down the line, they're talking about maybe adding co-op and whatnot to it, and I think that would be fun as well. You got the CB radio that you can talk to, all the buttons and switches that are in your cab you can touch and move. You have to just keep your stuff going. Now, there was a bug, okay, which I reported. I found a whole bunch of stuff, and I put it in these containers, like power cells and whatnot, and then when I went to go open the box, they just disappeared. So I was like, well, I'm screwed because I needed those power cells to make it. So, but yeah, driving's pretty fun. You drift a little bit.
Flying.
Sure. Driving, flying. You got it. You have a little bit of a drift type of thing. You got to learn to use your backup camera.
You're in space.
Yeah. You got to use your backup camera to lock into the product.
I mean, you just said you're drifting, right? It's space, right?
Yeah. So it's very fun. As you can tell, I have my virtual glasses and you guys can't see that. I have my virtual glasses on and stuff. It's behind me.
I don't understand. So I thought you were playing Towerborn. When did this game fit in?
This was Monday. I played this on Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, this is Monday. And then the second game, which I got to tell you, I know there's only like 600 people, less than 600 people playing, but this next game, I'm falling in love with. This game, I didn't think I was going to like it when they first showed it. When they first showed it, I was like, oh, what is that? I was like, that looks pretty cool. But then as they got closer and closer and they showed more, I was like, okay. So I paid $25 for the Founders Pack. All you really get is the cosmetic that I'm wearing right there, right? And you get to play the game early.
Oh, my God. I know what this is.
I said yesterday.
This reminds me of? You know what game this reminds me
I
of?
said the other day. I said the other day it reminds me of Dragon Quest, which was wrong. I meant to say Dragon's Lair, like the art style. Okay, and it's a fun beat 'em up game. It reminds me of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, okay, or Streets of Rage mixed with Destiny, mixed with
the Sega Saturn had a game. Right? It had all kinds of characters. The longer you played the game, the more characters you unlock. And it was centered around this giant skeleton wearing gold armor. And it played this kick-ass Japanese rock music while you played, right?
Yeah, Castle Crashers like that as well, yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of the game. Guardians of something. Not the don't start with the movie references, guys. It's Guardians of something. But you could fight like this is before the fully motion thing. You could pick like foreground, midground, and background, right? You could press a button and you would change. You wouldn't be able to move completely like you're doing free move, but you fought all kinds of nasty stuff, and it was really hard. It was an endurance game, hack 'em up. You could play 6 people. You got 6 controllers on the Sega Saturn. That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah, this is like a beat 'em up looter. And when I say it's like Destiny, they have a tower like Destiny, and you grab stuff from the job board, and this is where you go to make gear, break down gear, do all the stuff.
You got spells. You got spells.
You have spells, but there's no mage or anything in the game yet. So there's 4 classes. The 4 classes that you have like the guys. Eclipse is using the daggers. It's the Shadow Striker. Right, I forget the guys' names, but I'm using Sword and Shield. There's another guy that uses like gloves, like these giant over gloves. I forget what they're called. I forget what it's called. And then there's the guy who uses the mace, right? Like the I don't know what you call it. The polycaster.
You beat the crap out of a kangaroo, or you beat up the kangaroo?
Yeah. So the characters, the enemies that they have in this game, they're animated beautifully. Like the art style is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. The bosses in this game are fun, right? We played one that's called what was that one that we played? Eclipse. It was dim something. It was a giant mushroom guy that he puts out like spores and whatnot. Here, let's see if I can. Where is he? He is gotta be here. We failed a couple times on him. But
why are you beating the crap out of a kangaroo?
Well, they're just the bad guys. They're taking over the land. It's part of the story. Like they're overrunning the land.
Evil kangaroos.
Evil kangaroos. Yeah. Let me see. Where is here he is. There's the mushroom guy. So this is one of the bosses. Right. Look at the animation style and stuff like this.
I do like the animation style.
It's very addictive. Okay. It's very addictive.
Well, because it's old school.
No, it's addictive because of the way the fighting feels good. You can do combos and whatnot, and it's a lot of fun.
You have proper dodge?
Yeah, you can roll and dodge, right? The gear that you get gives you different special abilities.
Oh, you know what this reminds me of? It's not quite Dragon's Lair, bro. It's more like that like Heavy Metal. Remember the animated movie Heavy Metal?
Yeah.
This is the fantasy version of Heavy Metal.
So like, you can put different aspects on your weapons and armor. You can put different abilities. Each of the gear has different abilities. So like right now, my shield, I have a special ability where I can slam the ground like Captain America, which I don't really use because I'm learning how to build it up. But then I do this super spin with the sword. But then there's other ones that you do that might where you slam and then it makes this like shield around you. So each of the weapons have different abilities.
Is this PC or console?
It's PC only right now for Steam, but this will be on Gamepass and it'll be on PC. It's free to play game. It's a free to play game.
But you mean Game Pass on PC though, not Game Pass on
console. Game Pass on console.
This kind of thing is going to be on Game Pass.
Yeah, this is going to be on console. Yeah, it's made by Xbox Studios. It's made by a Stoic who made Banner Saga 1 and 2, and it's published by Xbox Studios. So this will be on Xbox and PC.
When?
Early next year it comes out on Xbox. Right now it's only on Steam. It's Founders Pack right now.
So now I get all excited about something, and now I just gotta throw it in the back of the closet.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
I'll see you later.
You'll like this game, but don't get the $25 right now. Wait for it because right now it's literally we're the testers. They're very active in the Discord.
Oh, I'm sure.
People are. This is what they did for Banner Saga 1 and Banner Saga 2, and Banner Factions. So it's a very, very fun game. I'm addicted to it right now. And then there's like a world map. Let me show you the world map.
It took a lot of time with the animations for these guys.
Here's the world map. So the world map is like gigantic. Okay.
The transitions for those characters and their animations is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like it's not janky. Like it's very well connected, very smooth.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on that's nice with this. They each of the characters, each of the enemies are different types, and the moves the sets they have, they all have different abilities. Again, this is like early on. I don't usually like gush over games like this, but this game I feel is going to be a really good game in the future, and I think this is a really good game for Game Pass. I do. The other game that I can't talk about is Immortals 33, which I think is also going to be a big hit for Game Pass for games like that. That game and this game, I feel like having that open world type of map and like playing with just random people and having those type of groups like this and that, I think this is the sweet spot because this is not a AAA game. You know what I mean? This is a AA game. indie game really, and they're doing really good stuff. So there you go. There's the aspects that I have. You have so it is a free to play game. They say it's not a live service game. What they've been saying, I watched another interview of theirs, is they're talking about it as an ongoing game. And they say the difference between an ongoing game and a live service game is live service game is, they said no matter how much content we put in, people are going to go burn through it no matter what, right? So a live service game, they're still going to support it, but an ongoing game is once they have stuff done, they'll release it for free because it is a free-to-play game. But a live service means they're constantly like, every Tuesday we're updating this. Every once a month we're updating that. That's not what they're doing. They're working on stuff, and then once you have the stuff, they'll put it into the game. So there's going to be story beats that go along with it. It's a very small studio that's working on this, but you can tell.
Was this game started when COVID was? Is that why she's wearing a mask?
Oh no, that's just different. That's just a different piece of gear that I have.
Oh, all right. I thought it was a joke.
No. And then this is the tower that you're in. There's like a tower, literally a tower. And if you want to go into certain,
why do you keep calling it a tower? Why isn't it just like home base or HQ or something?
It's an actual tower.
It's an actual tower.
Yeah, the story is that your whole village and stuff got overrun by these enemies, and you went to this sanctuary in this tower.
The Conan plot line.
Yeah, you're in this tower, and then you're defending. You're the defenses to protect the tower is what you're doing.
That's what I always thought Golden Axe was. Golden Axe to me was always like you were Conan the Barbarian, and your village was taken over, and you have to go back and kill everybody.
Yeah, let me see if I can get you one more thing. I think I zoom out of the map and show. You have to get to different levels, like you see 2, 3, 4. You have to go do your license. There's like a license inside the tower. You fight at this boss fight. You get a combat license where you can go to different regions and then go up levels 2, 3, 4, and they're going to keep adding that. So there's going to be like 5, 6, 7.
NPCs that help you, or is it only other people?
It's just other people.
Okay.
They're going to add more classes down the road. I think they should add some sort of like archery class because the enemies have an archery class. I think you should have one. Mages would be a cool class to add in this as well. One of my biggest gripes with it right now is that you can't organize, like if you're looking for a piece of gear that has like poison on it, you got to go to each of the things to look for poison. I would like something on a search bar up on top where you just type in poison and boom, it just pops up all the poison stuff so you can start putting stuff together. So I'm really enjoying this. If you guys like early access stuff, because I know you guys pay for early access and you love paying for 4 days early access, well, this is $25 for the Founders Pack. Check it out. It's just a fun, good old fun.
Can you play this with both controller and mouse and keyboard?
Yeah, I'm playing actually with controller.
Okay.
I just plug. I have a cable, the C connector, or whatever, and I plug it into my controller. USB.
How are the hitboxes?
Hitboxes are pretty good. I was going to say that the other thing I wanted to do is I want a bigger character. Like I want a bulky character. They have them in the tower, but you can't use them. I don't know if they're going to bring them later. But you have to like knock the shields off the guys, certain guys. There's like bombers, there's archers, there's melee, there's spear guys, there's rollers, there's poison.
Is there stun move? Is there stun moves?
Yeah, you can stun people. You can parry as well. I don't use parry at all, but you should. Yeah, USB Type C. Yeah, and then you just plug in your controller.
The animations is very familiar from back in the day, man. That type of style.
And it just keeps coming back. Like, do this, do your jobs. I mean, obviously down the line, I don't know what they have set for end game and whatnot, but as of right now, this is a fun little game. And it's free. It's going to be free to play. So, can you attack behind yourself? What do you mean by that, Jones? Can you attack behind yourself?
Like if you're in the middle of a combo, like a 3-button combo, is there a move? Is there a button you can press that does a back attack because someone's about to hit you in the back?
Yeah,
like
you can.
Quick,
well, you have.
Well,
you have the thing, like, whatever way you're facing is what you're attacking. But if you have your special spin move, like that I have, then you could attack everyone around you. And it also sucks everybody in for my specific thing. The combo variety, the way it works, Jason, is if you tap Y, if you tap X, it's X and Y, but there's a tap, there's a double tap, there's a hold. There's different ways, and then there's X and hold right trigger, X and hold left trigger, X and hold Y trigger. So as you're playing, as you level up, as you have different things, and you're doing your move. Like one of my Shadow Striker guys moves, which I'm not playing right now, but that's what Eclipse is playing with the 2 daggers. my guy build right now is the guy has never touched the ground. I knock him up in the air, and I'm in midair, and I do more damage while they're in air. So I
It's
yeah,
old school
juggle them. So I have him in
Yeah.
air, and I'm just constantly just hitting him. It feels good. It feels good, and the different classes feel different, and they have weight to them. So when you're using the guy with the big mace weapon, okay, I think it's called the Rock Crusher or Poly Crusher or something like that. It feels you're slow, but when you hit, you can feel like you feel the weight behind it, right? So there's a lot of cool.
Is there a team combo thing, like you and somebody else are next to each other? Can you you do a move together?
I'm using the mace here now, whatever this thing is. I don't know if there's a team combo. Maybe they could add something like that later, but there's nothing like that.
Use like a war mace right now.
Yeah, but watch what comes out of the war mace. It's like a cannon, and you'll see the little explosions come out of it, right? And then you can do your special.
What's the explosion for? In case someone's trying to jump over your head.
Well, you can shoot up, you can shoot out. You can also do your special, and then all of a sudden it starts to rotate, like spins, and then when you hit people, they go flying. Like the animations are really, really good. So that's mostly what I've been playing. I've been playing this game.
I think it's the animations that keeps me drawn to it, because if it was done in the same type of like side-scrolling animations that we've seen over the years, that I wouldn't play it for more than like 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, but the animations hold me. Oh, I like that style.
The music's phenomenal, right? It's got an original soundtrack. I actually tweeted out that I was playing this, and Towerborn said, because I said I really like the music, Towerborn linked me up to the guy who made the music, and then I went to his site, and he's got a YouTube channel of how he composed the music. Beautiful.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's a beautiful soundtrack. And if you get the I guess the higher tier, which I think is $40 for the gold pack, founders pack, you get the soundtrack with it. Like the soundtrack comes with it, so you're paying for the soundtrack. So it's fun. It's a fun game. Not a lot of people are playing it right now. It's definitely not a massive hit, but then again, Stoic's okay with that because they've always opened up their games to a smaller crew, like a group of people that want to help, and then they basically help them shape the game. So if you want to help shape an actual game, Stoic does do it. They've done it with multiple games. I backed these guys originally off of Kickstarter when they did Banner Saga. So did you ever play Banner Saga, Sarge? You know what Banner Saga is? Let me show you.
I think I get that game confused with Banner Lords. I think is what I get.
Like this is Banner Saga. This is the art style they had with Banner Saga. Okay. All right. This is it's a Viking, like you're playing like chess basically, right? It's a
yeah.
The animation style of this was also fantastic. I love this game, and you level up your characters and whatnot.
Now that animation is like the old Disney animation.
Yes.
That's what this is.
Yeah, it's like Sleeping Beauty type of
yeah, like Snow White, old animation type.
Yeah. So this is the same company that made that. So I backed them way back when Kickstarter.
Oh, so the same people that made that one you're playing now is the same people that did that one?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that shows the progression. Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so that's all the things I've been playing. So let's get to top stories. All right, so let's start off with got Towerborn. Let's start off with Bungie, shall we? Let's start off with Bungie. Bungie is changing Destiny 2's approach to content as it begins the multi-year saga. Okay, so after 10 years of Destiny 2, we'll no longer see one big expansion per year, nor the seasonal or episodic content drops between in 2025. All it will get is 2 expansions with 4 major updates per year. Alongside some of it celebrates 10 years of Destiny's anniversary, Bungie laid out some of the details of Destiny 2's future in its series and a new blog post outlining plans for Destiny 2's Frontiers. The next phase of the game is also now in current story and beginning being wrapped up, the Final Shape expansion, and the episodes that follow. Game director Tyson Green wrote, in 2025, Destiny 2 will also see 2 medium expansions instead of one big one, which was also approached by Bungie, was also stuck with ever since the release of Forsaken expansion back in 2018. So you can see it here. It says, go back. It says expansions will be new story, new locations, new missions, new weapons, new gear, new raid, and dungeons. Seasonal update will give you new reprised activities, new gear and artifact mods, new modifiers and challenges, new sandbox meta, new events. And Reward Pass will give you exotic weapons and ornaments, legendary weapons and armor ornaments, gear upgrade resources, and cosmetics, and more. So Expansion 1, it's called Apollo. That'll come out summer of 2025. Major update, codename Arsenal, and you got a Reward Pass. Then you got the fall 2025 major update, and then you have Behemoth, which is then the winter of 2025 and spring of 2026. So they got their.
Are we still falling for that? Are you still getting excited?
It's all new.
Are you still getting excited for that stuff? Like, seriously, are you really getting excited for that?
Well, we have a good couple of Destiny guys in here. Todd's a good big Destiny guy, right? He's got a podcast called Guardian Down. Okay,
I'm just curious. Are you really excited for their restructuring the release schedule of the things that they might release? Are you really excited about it?
Yeah. See, he says his spider senses are tingling. So
but that
more
can mean so
content,
much.
more content.
Spider senses tingling means danger's coming.
Yeah.
That's what spider senses is.
Yeah. So my question is, do you guys want a Destiny 3, or are you okay with just leading on with Destiny 2? Because right, they ended it. I feel like this is the same thing that Division did, right? Division 1 happened. They're like, I don't know about Division 2. Division 2 came out. They're like, we're going to keep supporting Division 2. And they're like, all right, we're done with Division 2 and we're not supporting it anymore. And then they go, well, we actually changed our mind. We're coming back and we're supporting Division 2. Is that what Destiny's doing? They're like done with the 10-year plan. They're like, well, let's keep it going until we get Destiny 3, right?
I mean, so is 10 years not enough?
That's what I'm asking.
Is 10 years not enough? I'm curious. Is 10 years not enough for a looter shooter? Is it not enough?
Brain says, I'm more excited about Diablo 4 rework than I am Destiny 2.
I'm not trying to put it down. I'm just saying the game's been out for 10 years. Are you not done with its process yet? Like, don't you want to spend maybe 10 or 15 hours a week playing some other type of game, or this is still the game? Like the same game. It's 10 years. I mean, it's still there. I mean, you still get the Joneses for this type of thing. It's the same.
Let me read a little bit. So maybe we can fill it in here. Okay. It says alongside each expansion will come a season. Though not as previously knew it, the seasons will now last 6 months between one expansion and the next, although Bungie shared no details about how the seasons might go about, include additional stories to tell beyond the expansion. So no taken, this means that Bungie is returning to its old model of 4 seasons a year, each with its own linear story. Instead, the seasons will include 2 major updates, one with the launch of the expansion and one with 3 months later. It sounds like the idea that they also, first major update with the expansion will introduce new content that goes with the expansion. And while season 3, while the second 3 months later will also refresh the core game with new and reprised content. Reprise just means redone, right? That's all it is. Like we locked it, now we're opening it up again. So it seems like the plan here is to Bungie to hit Destiny 2 with some kind of significant refresh every 3 months. Each major expansion also slated to come out with new reward pass and likely fares similar to what's in the game now. Right? I haven't played in years, so just like the PlayStation 5 Pro, this is not getting me excited. This is not making me come back to play Destiny. This is more. It just sounds like more Destiny that I didn't like. Personally,
but the argument still goes back and forth. Like you want a good shooter. I get that, right? You had a good shooter now for 10 years, right? Other people get a good shooter out, like the CODs of the world and whatever other first person shooters come out. You play that game, and then that game goes away for a couple of years, and then another game comes in down the road. But this game's been out 10 years consecutively. I get it. You love Destiny. I used to love Destiny. I get it. My question is, what would Destiny 3 do that a continuing Destiny 2 couldn't do.
Well,
Like,
right.
what does D3 mean to somebody at this point?
I was on record years ago saying I don't think they should put a Destiny 3 behind it. I think they should just continue, and that's what it seems like they're doing. I don't think there is going to be a Destiny 3. I really think it's just going to continue on going, new stories, new chapters. Like, it should just be called Destiny, and then whatever it's called, like Warmind, Dark Below, House of Wolves, Forsake, like what all that. That's what I think it should be. But I'm a little interested to see, like, are they just kind of going on cruise control, right? Like, again, is there going to be enough substance there to hold people over for 6 months in that game, or is it going to be like more of
they've been doing it the whole time?
Well, they've been doing it the whole time because the carrot at the end of the stick. Yeah, but the carrot at the end of the stick was the 10 years to get to the end of the story. You know what I mean?
What's the difference?
But the difference is now it's over.
What's the difference?
Now it's over. So, like, what happens now?
They can make up whatever they want,
I guess, but you don't know when it's gonna. I don't know. Everyone was in for the long haul. They're like 10 years, 10 years, 10 years. Now it's over 10 years.
You have been in there for the long haul. Pick the age you were when Destiny started.
My son was 0 when it started. Actually, he was just born. He was just born.
Pick
2
the
weeks.
I was 30.
Yeah.
I was.
No, you weren't 30. You were 40.
40.
Yeah, you were 40.
I was 40 when Destiny came out. What do you want?
Yeah.
How long do you want it to go?
No, I get that. What I'm saying is that whole time people were playing going, oh, the gunplay feels good. I got to finish the story. I want to see what happens with the story.
Okay, then what?
Now the story's done. So now what do? They just kind of telling like smaller stories that don't connect too much because they don't want to keep going. Like that's what I'm saying.
I have 3 or 4 things in my head for game modes for that game that would keep people busy for weeks, if not months. But the issue is it's not that I'm upset that the game lasted 10 years. I'm upset that they've changed nothing. The format of what they do has not changed.
Well, they spruced it up, right?
Right.
But it's still the same functionality.
The complexities of them for chasing the carrot within the currencies of the game to keep you playing longer, I got tired of. Right? I got tired of. Right? If you're hunting for gear, it's one thing. But to hunt for the coin, to get the thing, to get the thing, to get the thing, to get the gear, like that to me is just nonsense, right? I couldn't do it anymore.
Todd says there's just too many games to play. That's the problem. And I think you're right, Todd. I mean, from when
100%.
From when it started,
100%.
when Destiny came out, when it started, there was a lot of games, but there wasn't as many as there is
like
today.
We're talking about now.
Right. And there wasn't that many live service games. Now, you can't sneeze without hitting your head on one of them.
Yes, but to be fair, most games that release are garbage at this point anyway.
That is true.
It's a 50-50 shot that you're gonna play the game longer than a week anyway.
That's true. Right?
So you have a lot of choices, but only like 3 or 4 still maintain your attention throughout the month, you know? Tom, I'm just curious because I have no idea. Like, what level is your character now?
Maybe like
I'm curious.
Like 3,000 or something like that.
Yeah, like you don't go by level anymore, right? It's the number, it's your gear score. Like, what is it? Does your level go up anymore, or is it just the gear score?
There's still a level, like a gear level, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, so
2,000.
2,000 power. That's crazy.
Gaming has become Netflix. Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right. Well,
1,000 power.
The max is 2,000. John says 2020. The next topic we're going to talk about is Voice Actors Union has signed deals with 80 individual games as strike continues. While SAG-AFTRA continues to bargain with major industry players, a number of small developers have signed agreements allowing voice actors to continue to work on their games. Actors of the SAG-AFTRA, which also represent the voice actors, have announced that companies behind 80 games have agreed to terms over use of AI. While the voice actors, also mocap performers, continue to strike against major industry players, the contracts, which include both tiered budget and interim agreements, allow performers more employment opportunities as strike continues. The video game actors strike began on July 26th this year, and with the union demanding fair AI protection for the members at the beginning of the strike, SAG-AFTRA said that the studios would also need to be signed one of the 3 agreements offering the critical AI protections if they wanted to hire union talent to cover the work. All right, currently 80 games are covered in one of these agreements. This statistic of the SAG-AFTRA says that they also terms a reasonable affair of business. We applaud the video game companies signing the tiers of budget in-term agreements. And SAG-AFTRA chief negotiator Duncan Ireland said that not only are they doing it the right thing, but they're workers, but they're also helping to preserve human art, right? So it says here some of the studios that have already signed are the Lightspeed LA, which is also currently working on a debut game of The Last Sentinel. Ark Survival Evolved developer Studio Wildcard is also an indie studio, Little Bat Games. So there are people signing this deal to get people to stay in business, because a lot of these small developers need the voice actors, right? Otherwise, they're dead in the water. So they're like, I think they're kind of forced to sign this deal for them, because they got to get their game out the door. Otherwise, they're sitting on it and then nothing happens, and then they're done, right? They wasted 4 or 5 years of development time.
Yeah, but there should unions should help the employees for sure. And I do think that, especially if you've got a really interesting voice that they want for a game, I think we should go to like voice print type of thing, where like a voice print is like a fingerprint, right? There's like a recording of you speaking, and if you're mad because you think somebody's using your voice, you ask for the voice print, and if it matches the same type of thing, because the AI is using a voice print, right?
Yeah, you have to learn it. Yeah, it's
right.
learn. Yeah,
It's for them to for AI to learn the voice. You're taking a recording of someone's voice,
you only
and
need
you
3
put
seconds.
it in, right? And it does a modulation, and it does how the voice sounds, right? And then the AI basically copies that modulation and then just connects the letters and words from that modulation. That's basically how it is. So as a voice actor, just like you have a fingerprint, they should have voice prints. And if you try to copy their voice print, they should be able to sue, right?
Well,
Especially if
it's
you're
not
going
even
predominant voices.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I don't even think they're trying to protect their voices. I think they're trying to protect their voices from not being able to use human voices, right? Because you can still make an AI voice without using someone else's voice. You just make a voice.
That's completely cool. But what I'm saying is they look for certain voices.
Sure, but they're protecting that they don't want any AI taking voices. They want the jobs, which we should get.
That's cool. However, if you start sounding like somebody, that they have the right to ask. They have the right to ask.
Real quick,
Right?
Krebsy says, yes, so is Pete Parsons still at Bungie, and did he buy any new cars?
Oh, I think my thing is gonna win, bro. We're in September. He's still there.
Bungie
right? He's still there, right?
Is Pete Parsons still at Bungie? Yes, he is. If Pete Parsons at Bungie, yes, he is.
Yeah.
Did he buy any new cars? Yes, he surely did. He bought 3 brand new cars this week. He bought he bought Herbie the Love Bug. We got Herbie the Love Bug.
That one. Yep.
We have the Scooby-Doo, the Mystery Machine.
He's also kidnapped Velma.
He's got Velma and the ghost in the back over there. Yep. Okay, and then he bought.
The ghost is there. The ghost is there.
He bought the Mutt Cuts, the thing from Dumb and Dumber. So those are the 3 new cars Pete Parson bought this week, and he's still at Bungie.
I like how somebody actually made the Mystery Machine the proper way, because the Mystery Machine they used in the movie was like one of those Aerostars from like Plymouth with the long nose. And I'm like, that's not the Mystery Machine. Remember when they did that in the movie?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not the Mystery Machine.
Yeah, that's the real Mystery Machine. That's not the cartoon Mystery Machine.
That's the real life version of the Mystery Machine. Yeah.
Yeah, he got
just for the update. I'm letting you know. I'm still saying the same thing. Probably between Thanksgiving and Christmas is when he'll step down.
I'm thinking he's gonna be there for a really long time.
It's just so disturbing.
Do you think he'll be there until
that's how
the first expansion comes out?
Understand, Chad. The reason why we bring that up every week is because the issues surrounding him and Bungie was so profound that the media just now washes it over. No one gives a shit. And so that's just a reminder to everybody every week of what he has caused, and he's still there.
Right.
That's like, I don't Petridge Farm remembers. Like, I don't listen to the news cycle, and then all of a sudden I totally forget that he was a complete and total dick. Like, oh, it's been 3 months. He's no longer a dick. Nope, he's a dick. And so every week, a reminder. That's what this is. A reminder.
The reminder, we're coming to the 1-year anniversary of, actually, I think we already passed it. I think Starfield's been out for 1 year, Sarge, already this week, right? It came out, did it come out September 3rd or something like that? I think we've already passed it. That was last week.
Was it?
right? Starfield came out, I believe, over a year already. And now Starfield's New Planet has over 50 new locations, and Bethesda reveals. So 50 locations.
On the same
Yeah,
planet.
it came out September 6th. It came out September 6th. So in a tweet, Bethesda teased as much more coming to Starfield beyond Shattered Space, but for now revealed some fresh details on the expansion. So the highlight were the addition of 50 new locations to discover. Okay, now explore across the Valrune New Planet. Okay, players also visit the during the Shattered Space. Suggest that Shattered Space will certainly keep Starfield fans busy when it comes out. So we'll probably play that on the 30th this month, guys. Elsewhere, there's also new grenades
I
to
won't
craft.
say to keep you busy. I mean,
50 locations. Look, I mean, I put 200 hours in, Sarge. I'm pretty sure it'll keep me busy. I'm sure if someone could speed through and be like, I got to the border in 15 minutes because of the car, or, I'm sorry, 15 seconds because of the new vehicle, right? So I'm sure someone will do that. But so there's new grenades to craft, stem organ materials to gather, and Bethesda added that there's also formidable new enemies as well. And finally, Bethesda and Starfield players haven't seen the last of the Zealots or Spacers or Crimson Fleet as you explore the planet beyond the lookout for those that taking advantage of the situation. What if, now, again, I don't know if they're doing this, but what if this Shattered Space, right? If you don't buy Shattered Space, right, your game is just in one form. But if you buy the Shattered Space, it changes what the rest of the game was. You know what I mean? Because if they're introducing a new area, there's gonna be new stories, new plot points that are happening in there as well. Do you think they just make it an instance for that new area, or do you think your things that happen with this DLC change the landscape of the rest of the galaxy that you've already visited and did stuff in?
if it's very complex to do it that way. In my opinion, I think it should, depending on how you ended your game. I think that whatever is added on should start off in a certain way because of the way you ended the game. That'd be the proper way to do it. But would they do that? I don't know. I'm not sure if Bethesda's ready to handle all the infinite possibilities of how people played the standard game, right? So it would probably be like a disconnect, and then you'd like reconnect with the DLC, and then people would base themselves off of whatever actions you do during that part of the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Otherwise, it would be very hard to match everything, right? Because you don't know what kind of person you were in the first game. I mean, if you're trying to do it that way, like if your aspirations are to make a game where the decisions are impacted and they follow you through the course of the game, that's a very complex order.
Well, I just don't know how they.
Very complex.
It would be kind of weird, right? Because when I play Fallout 76, and you go to Atlantic City or you go to other places, you're going to an instance there, right? And back in the Fallout days, when you went to was it Pittsburgh, or you went to Fall Harbor or anything like that, right? Like you're just going there. Now I understand that this is how handcrafted, 50 new locations. 50 new locations. Think about this, Sarge. There's probably less than 50 locations inside of all of Skyrim. Do you know what I mean?
No.
In the map? Yeah, no, actual like points of interest, I bet you it's like 50 locations that you go back to every I'll look it up.
There's way more than 50.
Hold on. Let's check it out. Let me go to it.
Way more.
Let's see. How many locations in
Don't even get me started. Way more.
100 locations. All right, 100 locations. So there's 50 in this DLC inside of Starfield that's already got a shit ton of locations inside it, right? So this is half the size of Skyrim in this one little section. That's pretty impressive for it.
It is, but here's how you go about it, because the game is boring, right? I get that, right? I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah, it's
space, right? Actual exploration of space without a concrete universe already that you're walking into, because you're saying it's real mankind, right? We had to leave Earth, it got destroyed, we ended up in the Andromeda galaxy, blah blah blah, and now we're here. And so now you see everybody acts over here, even though that we're a multi-planet species, we still act exactly the same. It's like we didn't learn anything. Like, we destroyed our own home. We had to move someplace else. We barely made it. And then as soon as we establish some kind of like even keel for humanity, we immediately act like we do back on Earth. Just now we're acting out on multiple planets, right? That's the starting point for Starfield. I'm like, it's boring, right? Because you're not putting me in the thing where like, okay, you're in an Andromeda galaxy, but this alien race is out to kill you. And so if you're going to go anywhere, you have to make sure to defend yourself against this alien race and whatever else. No, it's the drama between factions of your own kind, even though we're in a different part of the galaxy. It's like on the surface, it's boring, right? Yes, there's some intrigue. Yeah, we want to know who these other guys are now because you teased us the whole time. I had this crazy bitch following me around for half the game, and the Varun we know nothing about. And now finally you're going to tell me about the Varun. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. But still, like what? Here's how I would fix it, right? You got guys working on the game, right?
Yeah,
right.
We got a lot of guys working on the
game. The game's boring as it is, right? But here's how you. This is how you jazz it up a little bit, right? You have like 20, 30 guys working up some stories and things for the galaxy they're in. Because remember, there's a lot of dots, right? Yeah. The only way you can get to all those other little solar systems is if you establish, which I call space gas stations, on specific planets. So when you land there, you can go further. That's the whole point of the building system, the base system is to build the gas stations on certain planets.
You can upgrade your ship as well and go further.
Upgrading your ship is one thing, but if you put the fuel station, the buildings on the specific planets, you'll go farther. So they let you go out further. So I think developers should make their own stories for certain types of planets or for certain solar systems, but don't tell anybody.
That'd be cool. See,
right? You just don't. You say that we've released some whatever, we released some stories after, and whoever's exploring and moving around will figure them out.
We'll find it, then share the wealth.
If we're gonna be boring, let's just turn into the skid and say, well, if you're bored and running around, you may find some stuff, and when you do, let everybody else know.
Yeah,
right. Instead of because really you can't sell Starfield as like a Mass Effect where you're like, oh, it's gonna be amazing. Like nope. Got another beer delivery. Got to go to the bar. Drops off some stuff. Like, it's not. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have it. It
is better with Star Wars on it, though. I'll be honest.
You have to be a specific type of person to want to play Starfield for hours and get enjoyment out of it. Like, I get it, right? I get it.
That's me.
I myself, right? And I don't know if this is what they were going for in the beginning, right? But like I said, when we talked about Starfield, I enjoyed the closest to realism possible without making it super boring, that you're actually exploring someplace that no one's been and how you would feel to get there, right? Do they do it 125%? Like you're going to die because you can't breathe immediately? No, you got a spacesuit on. You got to do this. Like they give you the basics of it.
They video game it up. They video game it up.
But the feeling you get for being on a planet that no one's ever been on before gives you the sensation of like, yeah, I see myself doing it type of thing. Like, what would it be like? Like, I get that part.
I would like...
But it's still boring.
Right, well, this is what I would like to do, right? If they did it this way. First of all, Varun, we don't know anything about them, right? And now because the expansion's coming in, they're going to have to implement those people into the regular game. They're going to have to be ships flying around and different factions, right? So this is why I think they are going to change the base game of Starfield, right? 1. 2, I think it'd be really cool if you build, like, why am I building a base on a planet besides just building the base on the planet?
I just told you. Why.
I know. I want it to be like you build a spaceport on your thing.
They don't let you build a town.
I understand that. You build a place on that building, and then all of a sudden ships start coming in, and then NPCs start populating that area. That would be cool. Nice. Yeah, that would be cool. Right?
That'd be too simple, though.
Like I would take simplicity for that.
Like I'm trying to spread humanity around. One of the jobs is to find a planet that's suitable.
Right.
And when I find one,
build a spaceport. Yes, build a spaceport.
Once I set up the basics and I come back, they're building stuff on their own. Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. It should be a mission.
That's too easy, bro.
Right? The Vanguard calls you up and says, we need to set a perimeter up and we need to build 10 spaceports in our solar system to expand the human race. And you're like, all right, cool. So then you go out there. That's a mission. You build up spaceports, and then all of a sudden Vanguard lands, and then soldiers come out and they populate the area. That would be
That's
fucking
correct.
cool. That's the
I
stuff.
mean,
That's the stuff they need to do in this
be
game.
that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But once again, crickets, bro, crickets. Like the game is, look, it's a decent game, right? But when you suck,
But it's
the
not
fun out of
done.
they suck the fun out of space exploration, right? It's almost like playing one of those NASA games from back in the 90s where NASA was trying to find kids who were interested in science and try to get them interested in spaceships and whatnot. But the science games that they had, that to get you interested in science was so boring. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, and the same guy was like, and this is the space shuttle. Got 15 parts, and we're gonna go through them right now. Part number 1. Like that's how the game is.
Boom.
Like,
Yeah.
you gotta jazz it up a little bit. Do something. Like, yes, you gave us a car. Great. Right? Everyone happy now? You got a car. Right? You didn't like the game before when you walked around. Now you're driving around. Now you're getting faster to a location that you're doing nothing at. So I don't understand.
You could do something
what it is you're happy
faster. You
about.
could do nothing faster. That's right.
You have to allow, if you're gonna make a game like that kind of crazy open, then you have to let the game do its own kind of thing. Like, someone doesn't like you, they come to kill you, got a base you got to build. Yeah, something's got to be going on, right? Bounties got to upgrade, new gangs got to come out, things got to happen.
Right.
Like,
If you build a Vanguard base, Crimson
but-
Fleet attacks it. You build a Crimson
but
Fleet
once
base,
again-
Vanguard tries to attack it.
But once again, they don't have to put an announcement on
No,
Friday
just let it
the
happen.
on Friday the 12th,
just let
that
it
we release
happen.
some shit to keep you guys busy, right? It should be the people who actually like the game are playing and they go, ooh, I found this. And they tell their friend, hey, I was here and I found this. Did you find that? And they go, no, I went there. I didn't find
That's
that.
how
I'm
the
like,
game.
well, why?
That's how the
That's
game
how
was,
the game
though.
should be.
That is how it was when we started playing. We were like, "Did you do this?" You're like, "I haven't done that yet. I haven't seen that yet." I don't know. I think this is a good turning point. But again, game came out way too early, and it took 12 to 24 months to fix it. We're at the 12 mark. We're at the 12-month mark.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
We'll see if Shattered Space comes out and completely changes the landscape of Starfield, or are we just moving on to the next year for 12 more months until they complete it?
Yeah. Well, that's once again, that's true. But Travis, that's not fair because the lore by itself, the lore of 40K would choke out most development teams just on the writing by itself. Like, literally choke them out. Like, they have no concept of the lore that's behind 40K, right? And you could just pick one faction, Travis, just one. Just pick the Imperium of Man. Please, right? Starfield, empty canvas. Someone puts a tree on it and goes, I made a tree. Awesome. Like, no, dude, it's just a fucking tree. Like, what? The exploration part is done. We've done it. The story part is done. We've done that. Now, what's my purpose?
Right.
You got to give me purpose.
Give me more. Give me more.
And if I'm going to be, what the hell is his name? Titus from the Space Marines, I know my purpose immediately.
Next expansion.
Cleanse the heretics, purge the evil. Like, I know what my job is. Where's my heavy flamer? Like, I don't need to be shown something in Starfield. It's
right,
like,
because you already have. Right. It's a brand new IP compared to an IP that's been around for fucking 40 years, 50 years.
If you have an established IP, like, for instance, the Elder Scrolls, look how deep and rich the Elder Scrolls is. There are so many characters already involved. So when you put me in an Elder Scrolls game, I know where I stand. I know what we're doing. What story am I attached to? But you gave us an open canvas with Starfield, which I understand is a different take. 100% agree. But you got to leave some breadcrumbs. You got to do something. You can't expect people who want to be entertained to think space exploration with no direction at all is going to be amazing. It's just not. It's just not.
All right, we're going to talk about the big story that happened this week, which is the PlayStation 5 Pro. Okay, the PlayStation 5 Pro came out. They announced it this week, Sarge, and Mark Cerny came out and told you how it's going to be much more powerful. Okay, and
Garth? You mean Garth?
Yeah, it was Garth. Dane Carvey as
Dane
Carvey playing as Garth, playing as Mark Cerny. That's what it was. It's so creepy the way he looked at. All right, so. Today, Sony officially unveiled the PlayStation 5 Pro mid-gen refresh of the 2020 PlayStation 5 console and boosted bells and whistles at a $700 price tag. During the 9-minute long technical presentation, systems architecture Mark Cerny showed us all the new features and advanced ray tracing to upgrade the GPU and the upcoming console ability to hit a higher frame rate rates at a higher resolution. And the gamers are ecstatic of the PlayStation 5, which costs more than any other console that has ever has. Okay, they produce beautiful graphics and highly sought after 60 frames per second. And this person says, I could care less, right? Because the entire time, right, Sarge, the entire time the PlayStation 5 has been out, people have been saying that, right, the fanboys, right? They're like, this is my system. It's the best system in the world. And Xbox is like, no, I got the best system in the world. They both lied to their consumer base about what they could do, right? And now, all I heard was Mark Cerny. He was showing a clip, Sarge, of the Last of Us 2, right? He was showing us a clip of The Last of Us 2, and as they're running, he said, you can see how smooth this is and how choppy this one is. And I went, you're comparing it to your own system, and you literally just called the PlayStation 5, which was the best system, okay, until 5 seconds ago when you announced this system, and you called it choppy, right? And I started laughing because I was just like, this is insane, okay?
Party on, Garth.
Because now everybody is now justifying in their head. They're like, well, of course it's choppy, right? They were asking for 60 frames. Now they actually got it because they said 3/4 of the population of PlayStation players want to play performance mode. So people wanted more 60 frames per second, right?
Yeah, but they didn't pick performance mode. That's just the default.
Well,
The game, how it runs, right? He's making it sound like people consciously decided they needed performance mode. We've looked at it. We've looked at the data, and 3/4 of people want performance mode.
Yeah, but
no, Garth. They turned on their PlayStation, and whatever setting it was on when they turned it on, that's what it is.
Well, here,
right? Not everybody's going through their PlayStation, looking under front. They don't care. They don't care. Some people care.
Yeah, but here's
some people care.
Right. What they should have said is 1/3 of the population decided to change it to quality mode because they can't tell the difference. Right. That's what they really should have said. But the funny part is, 3/4, the people that own a PlayStation 5 right now, Sarge, are the people that want to that paid $500. They're the enthusiasts. They're the people that wanted to play the games, right? The 67 million other people that haven't moved over from a PlayStation 4 to a PlayStation 5 haven't purchased the PlayStation 5, and they said, we're going to charge $200 more than what the people that didn't come over already. Okay? So who is this for? Is it for the people that already bought the PlayStation? Right, the hardcore people.
Hardcore people.
So much so.
No problem.
So much so the analyst said that Sony's expecting to only sell 1.2 million systems this holiday season, and they're only going to sell 13 million for the next 5 years, okay? Which is on the same pace as the PlayStation 4 Pro back then, okay?
So if you say 1.7 initially,
1.2,
1.2, if you figure out the number of consoles that they actually sold for PlayStation 5 currently,
it's a 12% of the population. They said is what,
which is the upper echelons of people who play games,
right?
The guys who want the best of the tech. I have no problem with people wanting to buy the best of the best. A matter of fact, you need those people because those are the people that get the ball started of why people go into mass production of things and prices come down, because you got to have an initial group of people that want to buy the new tech, right? No problem. My issue is, if you're looking at it from a, gamer standpoint, if over half of the people who own a PlayStation 4 haven't come over yet,
right, more than half.
That just means to those people, it's not worth, in this economy, it's not worth spending the money for something that's not actually better, like significantly better. You want me to spend $500 on a new system for games that are not made for that system just because you made a system, right? Now, if I'm a PlayStation person and I look at that and I go, well, I guess I'm part of the higher percentage because I always buy the new system.
Right.
But then I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, over half the people didn't buy it. And then I should ask myself, why? Isn't it cool enough to buy? Right? Should make you think a little bit. Maybe it's because people buy entertainment systems for a specific purpose. But how many more choices do you have right now of entertainment?
Right.
Especially electronic. Okay? my phone, my television's got games on it, right? I might have another system in the house. I might have a Switch. So if you want someone in the normie category to spend $500 on a system, they have to justify the reason why they would spend $500 to get it. Now, not everybody is the same. There will always be the hardcore people. Always be the hardcore people, right?
Matter says it still was 60 frames per second. It was comparing the 30 per 60. My point is he called their own system choppy. Regardless if it was 30 or 60, the guy who designed the thing was comparing the brand new one, and they had to shit talk their own system so they can upsell their brand new system. Now, in my opinion, the people that are on the PlayStation 4 were waiting, right? Because I didn't buy my PlayStation 4 Pro until 5 years into the cycle of the PlayStation 4, okay? I didn't get the PlayStation 4 and then upgraded to the PlayStation 4 Pro. I waited for the PlayStation 4 Pro to come out, and then I purchased it because at that time, I just didn't need a PlayStation, okay? And then I got it for Spider-Man. The people that didn't buy, the 67 million people that didn't buy a PlayStation yet, they were hoping, I would assume, and I'm being very generalistic here, they were hoping that when they did announce the PlayStation 5 Pro, that they were going to do the Apple mentality of this goes into the $500 spot, and then this PlayStation 5 goes down to the, because that's what they did.
They don't need to.
But that's what they did. I understand that, but that's what they did for the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 4 Pro. So now everybody that's a PlayStation 4 owner is like, well, this is a predicament. Well, I'm definitely not getting the $700 version, right? For this minuscule update, right? So they're going to get the PlayStation 5 discless version, right?
The ones that are already in the pool don't care about getting wet.
Correct.
Right? The people who are still on a PlayStation 4 don't care. And especially now, you raise the price of the PlayStation 5, right? So you came out with the Pro, but instead of lowering the price of the 5, you raised it. So what's the bait for the people that haven't changed over yet? What are you saying to those people that you want them to come over? If you just want the upper echelons of your community to buy the high-tech gear and you're okay with that, that's cool too. Right? But you have to understand that they're getting to the point now where Sony is looking at it and going, well, if we decide to make any games for the systems that we're trying to sell, then we can't sell those games on a PlayStation 4. And how are we going to do that? How are we going to miss out on half the revenue on a game that we come out with because they're not moving over?
Right.
What do they do? What do they do with those people?
Well,
you have to sell. You want to sell it to everybody that has a PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Or am I supposed to turn into an elitist and say, fuck those people? If they're not going to buy a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 5 Pro, fuck them.
Well, here's the next thing in the debate that people are having, right? They're like, well, go ahead and go out and build a system, a PC system for $700, right? And I laugh to myself. I'm like, that's not factual either, because if you are a person that wants the best tech, okay,
I get it.
If you want the best tech, you're not just buying the bare bones $700 PlayStation, right? You're buying the $700 PlayStation 5 Pro. You're getting the stand. You're getting the disc drive. Okay, you're at $800 and what? Because it's $80 for the disc drive. It's $30 for the stand, right? So you're at $110 on top of that. So you're at $810, $820 there, right? Then you want to play online. You're not just playing just single player games. You want all the games, right? And Sony's got online games for live service games, right? So they need to pay $80 a year to play online for PlayStation. Okay. Yep. So now it's $80. Are they paying for 1 year? Are they paying for 2, 3? So minimum, they're paying now $900 just to get 1 year, or they're paying additional $320 to $400 if they're doing 4 to 5 years of the PlayStation stuff, right? Then on top of that, the people that own a PlayStation 4 right now that are coming over that might buy the PlayStation 5 Pro, or the people that have it, they might not have a television set that can run what that system can do, okay? So now they're going to have to get a cheap. If they get the cheapest one, it's like $300-$400 for the no-name brand that does the 4K.
Otherwise, why are you getting a Pro?
Right.
If I don't have the TV that can run what the Pro can do, then why would I want the Pro?
Right. So then you got to get the cable, because you got to get the 2.1 HDMI stuff, right? Okay. They're selling you a Wi-Fi 7 which Wi-Fi 7 is not even out really for most things. It's like selling an 8K TV with no content to put on the 8K TV type of thing, right?
Yep.
Same back in the day with 4K. There's like, hey, we're gonna have a 4K TV, but there's nothing being filmed in 4K, but you have it just in case. Okay.
Just in case.
So now you have this system. Now you had to buy a TV. So now you're well over $1,000 if you just want to play what the system can do, and it's true what they're telling you it can do on a television set. Now, maybe you have a television, but most people probably don't because they probably bought a television set before 2018 or 2020 or 2018, 2020.
I know the people that haven't switched over to a PlayStation 5 yet don't have that TV.
Correct.
I know
okay.
that.
So now they're in PC territory. Okay, they're in PC territory because now they're over $1,000. Okay, they're over $1,000, and the PC guys are like, well, now let's look at it and go, okay, well, after I paid for all of that, now I'm above 1,000. Can I build the same thing that's doing for $1,100? Probably, right? It's not a bring this PC down to $700. It's bring this up to 1,000, then build $1,000 PC, and then see what you can do.
We all understand that the reason why consoles existed was because the normal Joe doesn't understand PC and all its little finagles and things that have to do with it, drivers, graphics cards.
And people don't want to deal with that stuff, and that's why they're like, I don't want a PC.
I don't want to deal with it. I 100%.
I don't want to play on a small monitor.
I 100% agree. You're comfy on your couch. The system runs well. It plays cool games. That's why we got it. Now, here's my question to you. Okay, what do you really believe the end game is here? Do you think that Sony is going to continue making consoles until the end of time?
Right. No, they're going to have to get into the PC.
Are consoles getting better and better to the point where they're going to merge with PC and you just have the thing in your house that plays games? Right? Otherwise, what are we doing? The increments are not substantial enough. The prices in this economy are almost doubled. So we already know how much they're going to pay for.
Well,
half of your community hasn't upgraded to the new system yet, and we're halfway through the life cycle of what you say the life cycle is
8 to 9 years.
Of this particular unit. So what is your game? What is it you're trying to establish? If you're going to just drag the dog with you, right? Eventually you have to try to sell to the people that have the most units.
But they are. They're selling to the same people that bought the same things because they bought the hardware for the PSVR 2. They bought the Portal. They're selling to the same people that love the Sony brand.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's fine. But the people that you have currently right now that are going to sell their 5 and they're going to sell their 5 in order to buy the 5 Pro. 100% agree, right? 100% agree. But now tell me why. What game is coming out that you need it?
Well,
that you need it.
They didn't know they needed it until Tuesday when they showed it, right? They thought that the PlayStation 5 at its peak was the top console, right?
Right.
But now they have an inferior product to their own product.
Well, I think he was trying to be a little cheeky when he said it. But at the same time, you were still insulting what was possibly the best console to date.
Yeah.
But now you're telling people that you don't have the best console anymore. This is the best console.
Now we have the best console.
Which is a sales point for them to try to sell it. I understand.
Well, this is another shady thing they did as well. Because remember back in June, we had a story about how they removed the 8K off the box, right? So if you go buy a PlayStation 5 right now, on the box, it doesn't have the 8K anymore. Because they sold you that the PlayStation 5 back in 2020 when it came out, that this thing can do 8K. But then there was no 8K. So they removed it off the box, and now they're putting it back on this thing, on this one, because now they can't have 8K on. Because why would you buy the PlayStation 5 Pro if this one has 8K on it as well?
You cannot talk somebody who likes to have the best gear out of buying something that doesn't make sense. They have to buy it because it's the coolest thing out, right? They have to have the best tech. 100% agree. All I'm trying to say is that you don't have games for that system. You still have to sell games.
They showed all the games you already played on the new system that you already have.
You still have to sell games to people who have the old systems. You have not in the normie department, right? That's why Gamepass is the way it is, right? In the normie department for PlayStation, those people are not going to switch over unless there's a significant difference. and there isn't really that big of a difference anymore to them.
Right. Well, that's
them.
the next thing I want to talk about, right? Graphics are at the point now where it's like Battlefront 2 2017, which is 8 years old, is photorealism. It's probably one of the best graphically looking games that are out there. There's other ones out there as well, right? But you were talking about it earlier, like my son, his first game is Spider-Man 2. Where do you go from there, right? So
he's fucked.
Right. So I did this like comparison where like Madden, right? Madden can't really make Madden better, right? So Madden has to put things in the game and then remove things from the game and then bring them back a couple years later with just incremental things of graphically. And they're like, well, now you can do this, and now you got the hit stick. And you're like, well, the hit stick was in the game 10 years ago. And they're like, oh, we got the vision of cone. And you're like, we already had the vision of cone. But they got to keep changing things up to make it look like they're advancing. But they're running in place, right? They're running in place. And the graphics, I feel, that's it. They're at the peak of what graphics can be. And people are just kind of like, okay, great, graphics are there. And now people are looking at gameplay. They want smooth gameplay. They want the 60 frames, and that's why they're doing it, because they're not impressed by the graphics anymore because they're desensitized to the graphics. Okay? They're desensitized to it. You've seen so many awesome games for the last decade that you're just kind of like, yeah, it's another good-looking game. And this is why people start to, my grass analogy, your grass looks beautiful, but you get down in the grass, you can see all the bugs and all the divots and all the stuff. That's what people look at now. They look at Armored Core and they're like, oh, it's a good game. Yeah, but it's got its problems here and here. Like, we're so spoiled as gamers in general that we have to start nitpicking on everything else. The graphics are hitting a ceiling. They can't get any better, right? Body cam is it. Realistic, like real life, what we're looking at right here is like, that's the height, and you can't go anywhere else, right? So now you have to get artistically styled differently. Like we talked about Towerborn. The art style of that is really cool looking, right? But realism, you're on a pinnacle peak. Graphics are at the top, and they can't do anything with it. So these developers, these companies are like, what do we do? They're like, I know, let's not finish the game, right? And let's charge more money for a less product so we can get more money out of them, because if we give them this at one time, we fuck ourselves, right? So we have to fix it over the next 18, 24 months.
Yeah, but but for the industry by themselves, they're the ones that decided to kick the can down the road. They decided over the years of grooming us, which is better graphics, faster, better graphics, faster, better graphics, faster, which has been their battle cry for the last 25 years. But you do realize that the jumps were bigger back then.
Yeah.
Because technology was moving at a specific pace, right? Technology was moving, and gaming was in the technology line, and we were kind of creeping up with it. But now technology isn't going anywhere because we're not going to get into this kind of story.
Well, graphically, it's not,
everything's got a little kibosh on it. Like, everything seems kind of like, let's go easy now. And they realize that they're catching up to the point where they have nowhere to go. So what's my selling point?
Right. Incremental stuff.
How do I justify the cost increase and you buying something in the same decade for something that's incrementally better?
This is why they're talking about machine learning. Well, the machine learning makes it look smoother and makes it act, and so Black Myth Wukong has put fake frames in there to make it feel better, right? They're putting fake frames inside there to make it feel better. So this is what we're doing. They have to make things incrementally different now. It's not just make a game, sell a game. It's like, how do we trick these people to think that this game is better, right? We got ray tracing, we got the motion blur, we got the AI frames that they do. All we want is good gameplay. That's all we want. We want good gameplay that runs smooth.
But it's not just good gameplay. It's the ability for them to want to try to do something different. I forget what the YouTube channel calls it. It's Enfant. It's like elephant without the L. Enfant. Basically, it's just game trailers. It's usually like 30 minutes or 40 minutes of all game trailers that are coming out. Like, everybody that's ever put a game trailer out, it just puts them on there, right? And they'll break them down into sci-fi or fantasy or whatever else. And so I watch it, and as I'm watching through the trailers, I'm just going through them. I'm like, all right, a little bit of same. It's the same stuff, another RTS. But then there's a couple in there where, like, these guys seem like they're willing to try something different. They put it out there. This is the type of game it is, and you're like, ooh, that seems a little weird and different. Like, it's a murder mystery thing, or it's something else. Like, it's different than the mainstream 5. right? It's different. And I'm like, and I write it down. I want to keep my eye on it. I'm like, okay, if that one comes out, I will look into that one. It's not the same shit over and over again, right? Because not only are we graphically almost at the ceiling with incremental upgrades, is that all the games are the same, right? Because they're scared to make a move. They're scared to pivot, to try to do something different. Because especially now, after the bombs that have been dropping the last year or so, especially the last couple weeks, where they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on a product that goes nowhere.
Right, goes nowhere. Concord.
Right.
There was another one that just did the same thing.
So let me ask you this. When do they actually sit down and they say to themselves, well, if I make a mainstream game that everybody seems to be playing and we fail and it bombs, is that worse than us coming up with something completely different, trying something different on our own, putting passion into it, and seeing if that one falls flat or succeeds?
They would have to fail first to figure that out, right? If they keep succeeding with these shit things, then they're never going to learn.
Well, no, my point is that if you make a mainstream game and you fail, then I think at least that should set the precedent that maybe, just maybe,
try something.
You should try something different.
That's what I'm saying,
right?
But they can't try that because there's so many games that are successful and there's so many few that are not successful that they're like, because even if Concord failed miserably, okay, it's the worst wreckage in video game history from a AAA studio. Yet, I'm sure another game that comes out that has microtransactions, they'll forget about Concord in no time. Okay, look at Nintendo, right? Even Winzo said something in chat, right? He says Sony doesn't get it. Nintendo, look at them. They might be weird, but they're also about the games, not about the graphics. They're all about the game's fun and gameplay. No one cares. I don't want to say no one cares, right? The number one selling console is Nintendo. The number one selling console with software is Nintendo. Okay? Are they doing 60 frames per second? No. Are they doing high-end graphics with 8K, 4K? No. They have fucking fun games. They make great games. Okay? And, of course, they have a secret. They hand you one at birth, right? So everyone that's born gets a Nintendo, okay? And their clientele gets older, so there's more people that buy it. But that is what they're doing. It's not about I understand we as adults look at this and go, I pay a lot of money for these things. I want the best of the best. I want 60 frames per second. I want 120 frames per second. I want 4K.
Yes.
I totally get that. But we are so minute of that minority. We're the minority of the minority, okay? Where everybody else in the industry, they don't even know if they have a 1080p, 2K, 4K TV. And even when they do, they have the wrong HDMI plugged into it, right? Or they don't know that they're in quality mode or performance mode, right? They don't care. It's not that they don't care. It's that they don't know to care, okay? Because they're just like, I'm having fun. Oh, this is a great game, right? And that is like 99.9% of the industry, where there's us in this chat that we're all like, yeah, I got the 4080, I got the thing, I got 32 gigs of RAM, I got the widescreen 42-inch monitor that does 4K, 8K, 12K up my ass. I got the 65-inch, I got the 650, all the stuff, right? We're such a minute population. So when we talk about this stuff, everyone's like, you're wrong, 30. No. My son plays video games every single day, doesn't care about frames per second, doesn't care about frames, doesn't care about anything. He's like,
he doesn't know.
It's exactly right. And there's
and
people in their 30,
neither do the 69 million people who
40-year-olds and 50-year-olds. They have no idea. They're just like, yeah, it sounds good, right? Why do you think they put the big number on the box that says 8K? They're like, 8K? I got an 8K TV, right? Even though their 8K TV is not actual 8K, it's like upscaled and whatever else, and they still don't have the fucking right HDMI cable plugged into it, right? So they're really only getting like 2K on their 8K TV. Remember when mom and dad bought the television set? And they're like, we got a new TV. I come over and I'm like, what is this? I was like, you guys, this doesn't look, they're like, it looks good. It's much brighter. Brightness equals better visuals, right? For old people. And you're like, let me fix this for you. I calibrate it. I do all the stuff. And they're like, oh, wow. That looks a lot better. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Why do you even have this television? You don't deserve this television. Okay? That's the reality of things. Okay? That's the reality.
I want to see what kind of holiday bundle pack that they'll do this season to get people to want to buy a PlayStation 5. Not just the Pro, but just to get into the 5. Like, I think they're probably going to try to do some kind of huge bundle deal to get the people that have a 4 to move over to the 5. You're going to have to.
Well, GameStop's giving $410 for trade-ins right now.
For PlayStation 4?
For 5. For 5.
For 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what they're giving for the 4.
Well, that's because GameStop sees that they're going to want the Pro, and 700 is a big ticket. And if they trade in and they get $400 for it, then really only they're paying $300 for it in their head, right? So that's why it's doable.
Where do you think it goes from here as far as when PlayStation 6 comes out or Xbox Next comes out? Do you think the base model is 500 and now the upper model is 700? Do we think we're approaching on $700, $800, $1,000 consoles, or do you think they don't do that?
As I said before, I think that consoles and PCs are going to get closer and closer to each other, right? In current economic conditions, because the machine of our country moves slow. Even if the election goes well and they start solving the inflation problem, things move slow, right?
And we might be going into a recession, by the way.
Well, we're currently in a recession by market terms, but let's not get into that, right? So the issue is that you have a technology that's not going to get, unless there's some kind of breakthrough that we don't know about yet that they're waiting to do, right? It could also be for economic factors that they're scared about releasing consoles because they know that they're on the cusp of something and it's not going to coincide immediately with them selling consoles. So they have to draw it out and they wait, right? Because tech moves the way tech moves, right? There's guys always in the little mad scientist labs trying to work up, like that thing we talked about, like that data transfer that they're working on.
The chips that they're working on where they can do the whole internet in milliseconds or whatever. Yeah.
Right. But if I know that sounds like a strange thing to say, but even if they find something that works that way half as good, that still makes cloud gaming completely possible.
Well, right. Well, it's possible now. It just makes it more enjoyable,
more stable.
Yeah.
Right. More stable. Right. So where does it go? Let's go 3 years. Let's go 3 years. What does Sony tell you that the PlayStation 6 has that says gotta have it? What's gotta happen? Because I see the graphics, they're amazing. But what are you going to show me?
If you have a PlayStation 5 Pro and it does, what was it, a 45%?
What are you going to show me?
45% more than the PlayStation 5. Now, I guess you can say that the next console for $700, because let's say the Pro goes down to $500 and the new one's $700. And they go, well, now this one does a 45% increase from the last thing. And you're looking at it, you're like, oh, okay, I can see the shadows much better. You know what I mean? Like, where do you go from that?
I would think that the next thing that they try to sell you on, right? And since now I'm only selling to the people who like the tech stuff now, right? I'm not selling just to the normal guys. I don't care about the people who have a PlayStation 4. I only care about the guys who want to get the new shit, right?
Yeah.
So the way I would market a PlayStation 6 is that
6 times the power.
AI capable, right? AI capable, 60 frames on
there is no 30 frames. 30 frames are gone.
Right, 60 frames.
Right. Locked 60.
AI capable, meaning that AI they'll use the word AI in there somewhere, but what it really means is no more stupid AI in games. Like, you're going to be fighting guys in games that you don't know if they're real humans or AI people, right? Same thing in sports games where the computer's challenging you, and you're gonna have to set the setting for and they'll actually insult you. It'll be set for gamer, pro, noob, right, and scrub. Right? Like, noob will be in the middle, right? Scrub will be at the bottom. So you have to set the setting for yourself, right? For the games that you're going to play to see how good you are.
Well,
remember, the AI,
Sony has patents that you don't even need to play your games on Sony in the future. Remember.
But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they'll play the game all for you.
This is why I'm saying AI capable is going to be a term, some kind of AI thing is going to be used for the reason why I want the game. Now, and for me, I think that would be amazing because for me, when I used to play the Metal Gear Solid games and you're sneaking around doing things. And I hated when the AI was stupid. I hated it.
That's what happens right now in Outlaws.
It ruins the
Yeah,
immersion.
it takes you out of the
right?
immersion. Yeah.
So imagine playing like a stealth game, like a Metal Gear Solid game, or a Call of Duty, like a campaign mission
That's
where the
developers,
AI
though.
is
That's not the
realistic.
system. Yeah, I guess.
It's realistic, right? It's challenging.
That's
right?
not going to sell me a system. That's not going to sell me a system.
It would be part of it.
Well,
It would be part of it.
let me go to the next thing, right? Because Grand Theft Auto 6, everyone's starting to talk about, well, the only reason you get a PlayStation 5 Pro is because of Grand Theft Auto 6. And I'm like, hold on a second. I said to myself, only reason I would get a PlayStation, not a PlayStation 5 Pro, okay, is if they did a time exclusive. We talked about this months ago, right? If Netflix came out and said, we got the time exclusive for GTA 6 on Netflix only for 2 months, everyone and their mother is going to get Netflix for that 2 months, okay?
Absolutely.
If it comes to Xbox on Game Pass, everyone's getting Xbox for that month or two. If it comes to PlayStation, same exact thing. I look at this and say, would I buy Grand Theft Auto 6? Would I buy the console for that one game to be like, all right, it's worth it? No. Not one game is going to sell me a console. Now, as a content creator, obviously to make content off it, if PlayStation comes out, I'll be like, yeah, okay. But I'm like, do I want to pay $500 for a PlayStation to play it because it's time exclusive? Or do I want to pay $700 to get that little bit more? Because Grand Theft Auto, ever since it ever came out, has never came out at 60 frames per second. Never. It's always come out at 30 frames per second, right? So here we are now. Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, and time exclusive for PlayStation, but it doesn't hit 60 frames per second. Is it worth it?
Depends how people are, man.
Well, they really want the 60 frames. They don't want to play games that are 60 unless they're 60 frames. But if that game comes out 30 frames per second, it's the biggest game in the fucking decade. Do they give a shit if it's 60 frames? I don't think so. I think they buy it and they shut their fucking mouth because they're gonna be like, well, I just want to play a game, right? They would pay. They would play 30 frames per second Grand Theft Auto 6 because they got the exclusive. Speechless.
I'm speechless because if and when this game comes out on time,
well, there's no time yet. We don't know what the time is.
Sometime next year is what they say. You and I both said 26, but they say next year, right? So that means that Grand Theft Auto will be coming out at the very tail end of what is supposedly the PlayStation 5's life cycle, right? So
no, not at the tail end. The tail end's 28, probably.
Well, if it comes out 26, it's only 2 more years before it's over. All right. Tail end, it's been out. It goes by quick, bro. Everyone compares the 360 PS3 era, which was 11 years, right? But that's because all kinds of shit went down, right? But think of it this way, right? Think of it this way. Did we or did we not get the best games during that stretch of time because they weren't trying to rush into another series of
you're talking like 2011, 2012 time? Is that what you're talking about? Like 360 era?
360 PS3, right?
Yeah.
During that time, it wasn't a 5-year cycle. It was an 11-year cycle. And all the developers got to make the games specifically for that system. They weren't rushed into trying making something new for the new system coming out the line. And so we got the best games during that decade of time. Not the decade itself, but that decade of time. So when you have this rush of they want it to be every 5 years because they want to be able to sell you another piece of hardware, understandable. But let's not forget, they couldn't sell a new piece of hardware during that 11 years because it wasn't feasible. And yet they made so much money during that decade because of all the games that came out during that decade.
Yeah, and then Xbox screwed it up by trying to do the Xbox One.
Of course.
Right?
Right, but remember, there wasn't a lot of jumps for chips at that point. That's the reason why I don't remember people crying and saying, I can't want another console, come on! Like year 8 or 9 was going by, and people weren't yelling that they needed another console. They were just amazed by the games that came out.
Here's what I think happens in the industry moving forward, and then we'll move on to the next topic, right? So I think consoles and stuff hit to a point where people don't want to pay thousands of dollars for a console. And cloud gaming is the future of technology, right?
Yeah, and no console.
Right, no console. Because that's more money in the pockets for the developers or for the manufacturers or Sony.
That's correct.
And them, right?
So how hard is it for
So-
Sony to put their gaming into their TV?
So now they're pushing the 60 frames. Like we finally hit 60, right? We finally did
Yeah.
it for the systems, right? So you got to pay $700. In the future, it'll be cloud, but then cloud will be like, well, it's not stable, so we only can do 30 frames. And then it'll be that the kicking point there will be like, oh, well, now we can do stable 60. Now they'll use that as
Right.
you
As
see what I'm
the
saying?
bar.
As the
Yes.
bar. No consoles, more money in their pockets, all digital. They can charge you. There's no disc drive you're buying. There's nothing like that. It's just the
It's all
20
on the TV.
right. In the
It's all inside
television,
the TV.
it's in the dongle. If you have a console, you have a console. But that's where they want to push you, right? That's why it's funny to me that you look at Sony and they're doing this because, again, I said this: Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox were all on the island. They were all together. They're like, hey, we're all making money here, guys. And they're like, yep, we're all making money. And then Nintendo's like, I forgot to tell you guys, we're making a handheld, and so we're just gonna go over here. And they're like, all right, Nintendo, all right, have fun. Good luck to them, right? They're not gonna make anything. And then they go fuck gangbusters with the Switch, right? And then PlayStation, Xbox is like, we're actually doing cloud gaming, and Sony's like,
we can't stand losing to PlayStation
Right.
anymore, so we're just gonna make up
Right.
our own shit.
right, we're just gonna go start our own thing, right?
Yeah.
We're starting a new island over here, and PlayStation's like, wait, don't leave. We have to have competition, right?
Otherwise, I'll just
Right.
I'll just charge $700 for a console.
Right. So now they're out $700 a console, and they're out there doing their thing, right? But now they're approaching on PC because PlayStation's lonely, right? Sony's lonely. They're like, we need someone else to hold on to, so we can be whatever, right? So now people are competing against. Isn't it funny? Because they're not even talking about Xbox anymore. Now they're talking about, go ahead, build a PC. Build a PC that's as strong as the PlayStation 5 Pro. It's like, look, you guys want to spend money on the $700. You high-end console gamers that want to spend $700, the high-end PC guys are spending $3-4 grand. Like, they're like, kiss my ass, right? They're like, I can play 100 frames, 120 frames, unlimited frames. I can do all mods, 150 gigs. Go fuck yourself with your $700 little plastic box.
But then they also say, thank you, Sony, for releasing it on PC.
Yeah. And they're like 5 years later, they're like, yeah, I'll play your games on the PC at untapped resources, unlimited power, right? That's what they do, right? So now we're in like this weird world where everyone's trying to compete for nothing. They're all in their own little spaces.
They're on their own islands now.
Yeah. They can
They're
charge
all on
whatever.
the same island.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey.
But honestly, I think that's what they wanted, because now they each stand on their own and they're trying to get the market of their little zone. Now, PlayStation people are looking for the top quality product in the console version, which they're apparently trying to give them. But at the same time, you still have a large portion of your PlayStation community, which is the number one selling brand of console, 100% agree. But you can't get more. You can't get half of your population to move over to the next system because it's not feasible for that consumer. So really, what you're dealing with is you're dealing with the people who are hardcore, love console, love couch gaming, and these are the guys you're selling to. These are the people you're selling the peripherals to. These are the ones you're selling the deluxe controllers to, right? These are the guys, right? So completely cool. But like you said, where are we going to go from here? What is it going to be for 6, right? And I think AI, right? AI, the better peripherals, right? Deluxe controllers has to be, because you have to establish value for that system. And if it's not going to be graphical fidelity, then you got to give me something else,
Right?
Like it's got to come with like the deluxe controller. You know what I mean?
Just in,
Like it's got to have
just in, Sarge. Here's the PlayStation 6 prototype. Here it is. It's
You
got...
know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like you can't sell me only on 60 frames and be close to a G.
Yeah.
Right? If it's a console close to a G, right? Which if things keep going the way they are, it will be, right? Then the peripherals have to be it comes with a stand. I get the Pro controller. Like, then you put the price tag up there and people go, okay, I get it. Right? They'll say, yeah, all right. I need that. Yeah, I get it. Right? Because they're going to get it anyway.
Right.
But you can't start going, yep, PlayStation 6, same controller, no stand, no disk drive, hand me a G.
Look,
like
I love the fact.
fly.
I love the
It's not gonna
fact.
fly.
Just weeks ago, people were like, "There's no way they're going to come out with a $700 console. No way. There's no way they're going to do $700." And then it comes out
picture in picture. They took it away. Don't you remember?
Yeah, picture in picture was on
we
Xbox.
Had picture,
yeah,
we
picture
had
in picture was on.
picture. They took it away.
Yeah, it was on the Xbox One. It was picture in picture.
Like I thought that was cool. I forget what was it, 360 at the end or Xbox
No,
One?
it
Which
was
one
Xbox
was it?
One. It was Xbox One in the beginning.
Right?
Yeah.
Where like you play your game and then you hit the button and the football game would come over
Yeah.
while I'm still playing the
Yeah,
game.
I would watch sport. Yeah, I would watch sports while I'm playing games.
That was perfect. I'm like, that's perfect. Why did you guys take that away?
Right. So people what the hell what was I just saying? Let's move on. We have a couple of quick stories we can do. Okay.
Oh, now is it 10 o'clock?
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. We have
We
quick.
can go anywhere. We didn't go anywhere.
We got quick story. It's all right. We don't have to do them all, right? I said we do some of the top stories, right? So people were telling me. I said this on the early show, and I just want to laugh and brighten people's faces again because people told me. I said, "Who is this for the PlayStation Portal?" Everyone's like, "It's gonna sell. It's gonna be awesome. It's amazing. It's so good. It's gonna sell like hotcakes. It's flying off the shelves. Whatever they wanted to say, right?" And I'm like, where are you looking at this? I was like, no one's getting this. And like, no, everyone's buying it, right? So much so, Sarge, an article came out just a couple days ago, okay, saying PlayStation Portal sales in the U.S. might make Sony think twice about the PSP, okay? People are telling me it flew off the shelves, Sarge. Flew off the shelves, yeah, because they had like 2 on the shelves, and that's all they had for restock purposes. Okay, so according to video game industry analyst, executive director Matt Piscatella, he says less than 3% of PlayStation 5 owners in the U.S. have picked up a Sony $200 accessory at the end of July. All right, so it's been out for a year. Okay, despite the PlayStation Portal being the best-selling accessory in dollar sales for May of 2024. Okay, it's sold. Say PlayStation 5 has sold 23 million units in the U.S. according this year. But the Sony itself only sold 690,000 PlayStation Portals. Okay, 690,000. Everyone's like, it's flying off the shelves. It's flying nowhere. That is a incomplete product. It didn't even get to 700,000 units. Okay, so I just want people to know, where were you looking that this thing was flying off the shelves that everyone thought, right? And the same thing
because when they were looking for one, they could never find one.
Same thing with the PSVR 2, flying off the shelves. They stopped producing them, and now they're on sale for half the price because they have to remove the stock as fast as possible because they're working on a headset with interchangeable lenses now. Okay, and these people look. I love that you guys are passionate about what you love, but you get so blinded because you love that product. You think it's the best thing since sliced bread, where anyone can look at it and go, it's not selling well. It's not selling well. Okay. And then everyone's like, well, it's a good product. If it was a good product, it would have sold well. And if it sells well, they make more of that product. I don't know if you guys understand how business works. Okay. Like, you could like the item. It could be the best thing ever, right? I used to love this phone. I had a Blackjack. Right? It was a Motorola Blackjack. It's my favorite phone. Okay. It sucked. It didn't sell very well, but the people that had it love it. Okay. Well, they didn't make it anymore. Okay. People that have a Zune for Microsoft, fucking dead. Right? You might have liked it. It's a shit product. It didn't make it. You know what shit products make good stuff, Sarge? Movies. Shit product. Fast and Furious. They have 10 of them. Right? Transformers. I looked up Transformers.
It's only shit to you though, bro.
No, Transformers. Shit movie. Made billions of dollars, and they just keep making them because it's a good product, because it makes money. Good product doesn't mean good actual thing. It just means money good. Money good. If it makes money good, then it's a good product for them. Bad product for us, good product for them. We like the product, doesn't sell well, bad product for them, good product for us, right? And that's the way it works.
Well, yeah. Because don't you remember the whole joke on the Nokia phone? You could never kill a Nokia phone?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That joke went on forever because the phone was technically indestructible.
Indestructible. Right? Yeah. So they had to make a shittier phone.
They had to stop making it because the phone was too good.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So, and I love how people when it fits the narrative, by the way. Okay. If a product sells bad and you're a Xbox fanboy or you're a Sony fanboy, if your product sells bad, they're like, well, I like it. But if it's the other guy that sells bad, they're like, it's a piece of shit, right? It's the exact same thing, and it's just funny to me, right? I call it how it is. I'm down the middle, right? I said that, who's this product for, right? This is the same exact thing of the PlayStation 5 Pro. You guys are going to love it. You guys are going to buy it. But who is it for?
Listen, if you make all the games I already have look even better, and I'm a PlayStation guy, I can see why they're getting it. I have no problem to get it. Fucking get it. But to make up the stories that Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out and it's going to be 60
And you have
frames
to-
and it's going to run the best on a PlayStation. Don't hold your breath yet.
Yeah, look, at the
Don't
end of the
hold your
day,
breath yet.
I'm not sitting next to you on the couch going, "Why'd you buy a PlayStation 5, bro? Why'd you buy a PlayStation 5?" Right?
Oh,
Like,
go for it.
go
Get it.
for it. Buy the stuff you want.
Get
Don't
it.
justify it to me because it does 45% more. It's still the same CPU in the PlayStation. It's the same CPU. Okay. So anyway, it'll bottleneck there. Congratulations. Okay. Quick bullet points here. I know you're excited about this, Sarge. Trading cards. Okay?
Is it Magic?
No, it's not. 25 years later, and still thinking. Celebration of the Sega Dreamcast 25th birthday with Dreamcast trading cards. I know you guys are all asking for this, right? Some people are asking for 60 frames per second. Other people are asking for dead console trading cards. Okay.
I mean, are they cool looking?
I mean, I can get.
Is it good card stock?
I don't know if it's good card stock. It literally looks
do
like
you-
pictures, just snapshots taken from the games. That's what it looks like.
Did you know that a pack of Magic cards from the revised edition from back in the day, a pack, the one that looks like a pack of smokes,
Mhm.
like the starter pack?
Yep.
Do you know one of those unopened is $25,000?
Unopened pack, 25,000.
And I know an unopened pack of the revised Magic cards from back in the 90s, unopened, still in cellophane, is $25,000. Right, and I'm thinking about how many cards I had when I used to buy cases. I used to buy a case of cards.
I mean,
I was heavy into Magic. I'm sorry for the segue. We were talking about collectible cards, and that's the first one I went to. I had sold but just to be fair, at the time I was like 19 or 20, and some crazy. I'm gonna just say he's a pedophile, right? This is the crazy dude.
A PDF file.
He offered me, I shit you not, $3,500 for Magic cards at that time, and I had decent cards at the time, and I was like, at 19, 20, I was like, you want to give me $3,500 for this? Like, you win, kid.
Right.
you got it. Sir.
He's now on his own. He's now on his own island with the card. I have this Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card, Upper Deck, right? And I looked it up, and this thing could be anywhere from $50 to $15,000, right?
But you don't know.
You don't know, right? It has to be perfect. You have to get it graded, right? Some guy was like, "Well, you got to send it to me," and then I have to look at it. I go, "You think I'm going to send you a card that potentially could be 15 grand, okay? And you think
for
that
you to grade it,
right? To grade it, to go, no, sorry, it's not the right card. Meanwhile, you take that card and swap in one of the shitty cards and give it back to me. I'm like, no, sir. I'm coming directly to you and standing right in front of you and making sure that you're grading it. Hey, this shit's not leaving my sight.
Send me the card. I got a Don Mattingly rookie. Send it on over.
Yeah, just send it over. I'll let you know if it's good or not. Yeah, I don't think so, buddy.
I'll check it out for you.
I know a guy. I'll send it to him. All right. So, all right. The next story is after eating. We don't have to talk about this. I'm just letting people know. After eating it and killing it for the Crew, Ubisoft promises to bring offline support to the Crew 2 and Motorfest. So those of you that have Crew 2 and Motorfest, don't worry. The company that said get used to not owning your games, going back a little bit and saying you're still going to own the game once we turn off the servers when that happens. Okay, so that's that one. Next one. Black Ops 6 beta was the Call of Duty's biggest ever. Okay, moving on. Microsoft's new Gamepass tier.
Wait, I had a stroke right then. Right, read that again.
You want me to go back to it?
Stroke.
Right,
the mini stroke.
The Black Ops 6 beta was Call of Duty's biggest ever. Just the beta.
Okay.
That's the beta, right?
Okay.
We have actually. Let me throw in one more before we do that. We got 2 million players. 2 million players have bought Space Marines 2. So Entertainment announced 2 million players for Warhammer across all platforms. 2 million people bought from PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. And they did say that Xbox is the chosen platform because it gets 10 to 15 extra frames on the Xbox Series X, Sarge. So somewhere someone's running out and buying an Xbox Series X just to play Space Marines 2. But I doubt it, but that's what's happening. The next thing is Microsoft's new Xbox Game Pass standard tier is now available for $15 per month. I called this. I said this. I said, how do you make people get Ultimate? You have to make value. And I said they're going to move this. They're going to move the day and date ones to the Ultimate only. And that's what I believe this is, right? It says Microsoft is launching the Xbox Game Pass standard tier today. After briefly testing it on Xbox Insider last month, the new $14.99 per month Game Pass standard subscription is launching with the usual Game Pass library for Xbox and online consoles multiplayer access to the new tiers. Doesn't include the immediate access to day one games and release, though. Okay. So on this, it says play high-quality games, day one release, hundreds of high-quality games, EA Play, Riot game benefits, and member discount. Then it says play with your friends online, console multiplayer, 25 plus high quality games for core. The standard is hundreds of games and great value, hundreds of high quality games, online console multiplayer, and member discount. And then obviously the day one release, hundreds of high quality games, online console, right? You can't jump from 10 to 20. You have to have a thing in the middle, and this is what they did with the standard, right? So it's like this is the whole Ubisoft plan of 70, 110, 130, $18 type of thing, right? So you come in at the low price of the PC, and you're like, I just have PC, so that's what I'm doing. You get day one games on PC, but if you come in on the console, you get core. You're like, all right, cool. I get 25 high quality games for what is it, like $7, $8, whatever the hell it is, $10 it is. Right now they made the $15 standard edition, which is in between. You get the hundreds of high quality games instead of the 25 quality games, right? And you get all the stuff. And then the Ultimate is where you get everything, right? And obviously, because they're on their own island, they can just keep making the subscription models. They can add 15 tiers. They can add it where it's 25 and 30. They're going to add a family plan. I know they're going to add a family plan as well. So there's that for Microsoft. Let's see what else we got here. All right, the last two stories I want to talk about are in the entertainment industry, the film industry, right? So we're going to talk about Borderlands Disastrous. Right? This is another thing I called. I said it would be out of the theaters in 2 weeks. I was wrong. It was 3 weeks. Okay, I was so disappointed. I was off by 1 week. I undercutted it. Okay, but Borderlands movie ended its theater run, and it made a whopping $31 million total. Okay, made $8 million. That's opening week or opening day. It made $15 million domestic. It made $15.9 million overseas. It made a total of $31.3 million total. Okay. The budget of this film was like $120 million. They just... Has anyone heard from Randy Pitchford? Anyone? Is he still okay? Is he all right? Is he still yelling at people on the Twitterverse? But did you see it? Did you see it? Did you watch it? We did watch it. We did see it on YouTube for free because someone put it up there for free.
What I thought was interesting is I saw it on YouTube and it looked totally legit and it was crystal clear.
Because it was legit. Someone ripped it. They probably rented it for $7 and then threw it on there for everybody else and went, "This is a piece of shit." They said, "I paid $7 for this piece of shit. Fuck you. I'm sharing it with the world," right? That's what they did.
I can't believe I was able to watch it before someone pulled it down. I think it was up for almost a full 24 hours before they took it down.
And then 2 more channels popped up. It's like the Sith. There's always 2. All right. And then last week we talked about Minecraft. And Minecraft, we were talking about, I said, how long will it take for someone to fix it? And you asked me, and I said 1 week, and I was wrong again. It was, I think actually I said less than a week. I think I said less than a week, but anyway,
3 days.
3 days. 3 days. Someone redid the trailer. Okay,
and somebody saw the trailer of Minecraft and immediately said no.
Yeah, they said no. I'm fixing this.
I got to fix this.
Yeah, I'm fixing this. So they used the same background type of stuff, but they added the actual animations of the characters over the human characters. And this is what Minecraft should be. There should be no real humans in this, right? Now, obviously, they should have made this the same as that. But this is a much better trailer, okay, than the original trailer of Minecraft because it's Minecraft. I mean, how brain dead do you have to be like, let's make a Minecraft movie, but let's not make it Minecraft. Let's make it like Jumanji. It's like, what was the #1 movie last year? It was Mario. right? It's like $1.2 billion. Sonic broke like a 900 million, right? And they're like, let's make Minecraft real, right? So I just think it's amazing. And there's multiples of these, Sarge. There's multiple creators that all made Minecraft videos better than the actual trailer that they showed ourselves, which is.
But that just goes to show you that the suits of the world are out of touch, right? They came out with Sonic, and immediately everyone was like, "No."
Well, thank God someone said
you made a blue Satan. No,
I think it was Barbie.
No.
I think it was Barbie Krebsy, but like Mario for animated wise, it was number one. It was like 1.2 billion or something like that, right?
Listen, I'm glad that we have fanboys at that level that see bullshit come out and immediately say no and fix it. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. I
stand corrected. 1.3 billion, right? Let's make Mario movie, right? Nintendo said, let's make Mario movie. And they went, all right, $1.3 billion. Microsoft's like, let's license Minecraft out. And they're like, we've got Jack Black and we got Beta Jason Momoa.
We've got Jack Black for a 3-picture deal. What do you want to use him in?
Yeah, we got Jason Mimosa is what we got instead of Jason Momoa. Okay, he looks nothing, right? Like, what is actually happening with him?
What do you mean Mimosa? Why is he dressed like a woman? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, did you not see him? What he looked like?
Yeah, I saw him. I thought he was just like one of those metrosexual guys wearing like a Hawaiian shirt. That's all I thought it was.
Minecraft movie, yeah. Look, he looks ridiculous. Look at him. Look at this.
Did he lose his man card? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Look,
did he lose his man card?
Out of here. Right, Jason Mimosa. I mean, he could still kick my ass, right? I would still say it to his face. I'd be like, bro, what did they do to you? Why? Now,
did he disqualify himself? Did he lose his man card?
What I'm thinking is maybe in the movie, maybe he is a girl. Maybe he actually is a girl, but in the game he becomes a man. You know what I mean? I have no idea.
But that's Jumanji.
I know it. I know what it is. Yeah.
I can't believe they actually look at that and they go, we can do it just like Jumanji, boss. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, just do Jumanji, but with Minecraft.
We'll use the Minecraft and we'll just use the Jumanji story. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, it's just I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing anymore. I'm baffled. I'll wait. Yeah. I'll wait. This is what I'm going to wait for. Are you ready? Minecraft will probably make a shit ton of money just because parents take out the kids.
There's no choice.
It's just Minecraft. Yeah.
Parents take their kids. Yeah.
Okay. I'll watch Minecraft when it comes to home video. Someone rips it and then reanimates all the characters back in Minecraft with Minecraft characters and then releases that on YouTube. And then I'll watch it. That's when I'll watch the Minecraft movie.
So bizarre, bro.
It's ridiculous. Bizarre. I'm trying to think if there's another.
So let me ask you a question: Is I don't like to go by the media because the media is what keeps everything either in your face or they call it dead. But is Helldivers 2 still being played and still being talked about?
Yeah,
or
it's being played.
Is it over?
No. There, we'll look up the Steam charts right now.
I was just curious.
Helldivers Steam charts right now. I mean, it's not looking good. I mean, it's still.
Well, it's because there's other games that came out, bro. Once again, there are other games. There's so many games.
You can see the 2 points of when hold on.
When they nerfed it?
When Sony got involved. Here, this is the original thing, right? 333, like 458,000 peak of all time, whatever. Then this is where it dropped dramatically, and then this is where they nerfed the guns, and then dramatically. Now it's down to 17,000, right? Like, they just came out with they nerfed the flamethrower back then, and now today or yesterday they came out and said they buffed it back up, but it's too late. It's too late.
Doesn't matter.
It's too late. The player base either left because they were pissed off that they did it, or they left because, or they're not coming back because there's other games they're playing now.
So basically, as I told you, the game, even though it's good, would be a flash in the pan. Did I not tell you that?
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been a flash in the pan. Sony,
I know.
and the company screwed it up by. I said it. I have a video in the very beginning. I said you never nerf a PvE game. Never. Always buff. You always, because it's just supposed to be fun. And then I have idiots telling me, yeah, idiots. You know who you are. Okay. Come into my comment section when I make a video like that. They're like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Of course you nerf the weapons. Yeah, dickhead. Yeah, nerf the weapon. Look what happened to the game. You nerf the guns, and people are like, peace out. I don't need to pay your game, right? $40, oh, whatever. You're paying $700 for a console. They don't give a shit about $40. Right? They're like, see you later. I'll go play the next game that comes out.
All I'm saying is, I said it was gonna be a flash in the pan. It was a good game, and it just became immediately that when Sony got involved, when they tried to screw people with bullshit, instead of just leaving the game alone, let it have its audience and let the game play out. Nope.
Gotta ruin it.
Pet the rabbit, George. Pet the rabbit, George.
All it takes is one expansion for what? Everyone to come back for one day to look at the expansion and then go away the next day when something else comes out? They're done.
So many games.
It's not going to go back up to the 400,000 people.
So many games, bro. So many games every day, all the time.
I don't think they could do that, Jones. I don't think they could drop it this early. That's their surprise, right? They can't do that. That's like that 1 year mark before they drop the third race in that game.
They didn't want to play that card. They didn't want to play that card.
They can't play that card. That's too early. If it was still going strong, then sure. But now it's like desperate. It's like a Suicide Squad thing, right? You're like, oh look, we're showing you the Joker, even though we didn't put him in the game originally, but we're gonna make him the first content that comes out. And they blew their load too fast. They're just like, okay, great. Now you gave us Karen Freeze, and no one gives a shit about the third person, and then that it comes out. No one even knows when Suicide Squad season comes out. Nobody gives a shit, right? Helldivers did fantastic, and here's the fantastic thing about Helldivers. Okay, it doesn't matter. Everyone can stop playing the game. It doesn't matter. They sold 18 million copies or 12 million copies, whatever it is. They only thought they were going to sell 1 million or 2 million copies. They sold 14 million copies. That's good.
A win.
They're good.
They're good.
You can stop playing the game now.
Yeah, they're good.
They don't care. They're like, yeah, okay, well, we have 14 million. You know what? Let's give them the flamethrower back. It's fine.
Right.
I don't care.
Yep. Right. That's it, man.
That's the only big card they have left? I don't know, man. I remember talking it up. I was like, man, they're smart. They could do so much with this. They could just announce things inside the game. They haven't been really doing that either anymore. Now there's like roadmaps, and they tell you what the patch notes are and all this other stuff. It's like, but they ruined that. They ruined that.
They can't. They're so desperate for something to succeed that they can't let something just be on its own for more than 5 minutes. Right when it starts to, they got the big brains staring at screens, and then going, "There's an uptick in it. I think now's the time to pounce." Like, what do you mean, Steve? What do you mean? We hit past 6 figures. It's time to activate the microtransactions.
No, not the activation.
No, they're having too much fun. Somebody come in here and debuff something.
Sony was like,
too much fun.
Sony's like, wait a minute, how many people are playing? 12 million? Oh, we got to make them sign up. Throw that in there. We got to make them sign up on the thing. That's 12 million more people that could have been on Sony PlayStation. Right?
So we gotta. Oh, you want to play Helldivers? You got to sign up. Like what? That was the dumbest shit ever.
Stupid. Just stupid.
Ever.
Everyone's like, "Why? What's the big deal?" I'll tell you what the big deal is. 90% of your player drop. That's what the big deal was. Have fun. Have fun. Ubisoft is fucked. You know what the stock price is right now, Krebsy? $2.13.
No, actually went up a little bit. $2. It's $2.60.
Oh, I'm sorry. $2.60. What was it? Yeah, 3 days ago?
$15.
What was it a month ago? Like 80?
$30.
Like $80 or some shit like that?
Yeah,
something fishy's going on over there, Sarge.
Yeah. I'm not going to discuss it online.
Something fishy's going on over there.
I don't want the channel to get black flagged, but there's shit going on at Ubisoft.
I have to say something. Is Ubisoft Shadows going to get caught up in this wave of devastation?
Bro, here's how I look at it. If the stock price right now is under $3, when does that game come out?
November.
Okay. So that stock has got to come up before that game comes out, because if that game comes out,
Like it was
If
at
that-
$80 earlier this year. It's at $2.63.
If that game comes out and that stock price is already too low, there's going to be an issue, bro.
DEI.
Right.
DEI.
It's going to be an issue.
They're riding it hard. Pun intended. they're riding it hard.
They're it's not proven, but there is speculation that they're intentionally driving
Tanking
the country, intentionally driving the stock down in order for them to buy it back.
The family.
Well, whoever's involved with the Guillermo family. Yes.
The family.
Not just their family, but Tencent as well.
Yeah, their son-in-law, their daughter-in-law. Hey, we're gonna give you this much money. Put it underneath there.
I'm being honest. That's what it is.
I know. I'm saying
that's the only reason why you would want this company to go to do badly is because you're trying to position yourself to buy the stocks back and then do something good to get the stocks to go back up. It's
Jones.
Stock manipulation.
The game could be the greatest game ever created. You really think that stock is going to go from $2.63 to what it was last year?
Yeah, Robert, you have to, in order for you to understand what's going on, there's a couple things online you can look up. And what it shows you is when the Guillermo family took over and how the price started going up because of the games they had. And it gives you the breakdown for the months and the years that the games came out. And it shows when the games came out and when the prices go up. And it also shows what events took place that made the stock go down and when the buyback started from their.
There's talks right now,
Associate.
Sarge, okay, because Ubisoft holds the licensing for Activision for cloud streaming. Okay, that they might have to sell it off. Okay, then there's other talks about that they might be selling off some developers, like studios. So there's talks about like Massive might get sold off. Okay, bits and pieces of the companies get sold off.
Yeah.
What I find hilarious about this is that Ubisoft is the company that said, get used to not owning your games. And here they are. Get used to not owning your studios and companies because you're going under. You're going under, and someone's got to step up. So, do you think Microsoft's like, well, yeah, we still got some money. We'll pick you up and do stuff?
Well, it depends on who's involved. If the company goes private, then they won't matter. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the investors want them to go private.
Well, first of all, you can't buy Ubisoft stock on the New York Stock Exchange. I think you have to get it through OTC or OCT. I can forget how it works. You have to get another account because it doesn't trade here. But like right now, the market's open for them, so you guys can look at the stock price if you want. I'm sure it's moving all kinds of wackiness. But all I'm saying is, you guys do you guys not remember Guillermo doing that speech? Saying we're taking Ubisoft in a different direction. Do you all remember that speech?
Yeah.
It happened like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that speech, what he was referring to wasn't
live service games. Yeah.
Yeah, it was something completely different. He said live service, but what it really meant was something completely different.
Live service is what he was trying to say.
Something completely different. Yeah. Right? Because you remember they did good. What was the trilogy that came out? It was Odyssey.
Oh, it was Origins, Odyssey, and
Origin, Odyssey, and what was the other one?
Valhalla.
And Valhalla, right?
Right.
And the stock had gone up, right? Because those 3 games are really popular. The stock was at $100, dude. $100.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So from the peak of $100 from the Valhalla year to now, dude, $2.65.
Well, Star Wars Outlaws is not selling very well, right? And I think Shadows is going to do the same.
But what words are they using? Are they using underperformed or not selling well?
Well,
what words are they using?
They've used both. They said it's not performing well, and it's underperformed. Not sold well, and it's underperforming.
They said both.
They've said it's 2 million less than what they thought it was going to sell by March. They don't tell us that. Right,
so
they're projecting.
We have to sell for X again.
They projected that it was going to sell 5.5 million copies by March. Okay, by March,
and next year,
right? And right now they lowered it to 5. Oh, I'm sorry, it was supposed to be 7 million, and they lowered it to 5 million.
Yeah, but they said 2. They said it's 2. No,
it was supposed to be 7 million by March next year.
2 million less. They think they're
going to now it's like 5, 5.2, 5.5 or whatever it was that they're projecting. But I don't even think it's going to hit that. Just because the problems that it has and whatnot. And
why, it'll be fixed in a year, bro.
in 1 year's time, they came out in the fiscal year, not the actual 2024, but the end of 2023 to now.
Right.
They came out with Pandora, didn't do very well. Came out with Skull and Bones, didn't do very well.
Nope.
Came out with Outlaws, didn't do very well. Came out with they canceled Heartland, they canceled something else. Division 2's in trouble, right? They were trying to change that up, and now Shadows is coming out at the end of this year before it switches over. So
not a good year, bro.
Not a good year. Yeah. But Mike, how's Ubisoft Plus doing? I mean, it's got my $18. It's almost time up. I got 12 days left.
Did you finish the game yet?
Yeah, I finished the game. Well, I finished the story. I'm still playing the game, doing like side missions and stuff like that.
Did you do the Jabba mission?
I did, and let me tell you something. Fuck you, Ubisoft, for putting that behind a paid wall, right? Because it was literally, it was nothing. There was a cutscene of Jabba. You talk to Jabba. It's stupid. It's a dumb fucking mission that they blocked behind a paywall. So fuck you, Ubisoft, for doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. I think that's all. That's it. That's it for the for the day. For the episode.
Your screen says no more. That's it. No more.
I don't have anything. We got rid of everything. Yeah. Nothing left. Nothing left. We're live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. right here on 30NSG. If you like the show, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Episode 410 is in the can. We do appreciate you very much for coming out and hanging out with us. You can listen to us or watch us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm. As always, we do a morning show Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to about 1 Eastern. We're doing a live podcast Wednesday nights. We did it last night with Greg Owens. Go check that out. He's a YouTuber that just surpassed 67,000 subscribers, does really cool, good content. We have two other guests lined up that I don't want to announce yet, but they're out of the wheelhouse. They're not gamers. They're just other YouTubers. So we're reaching out to other content creators out there, and they're responding. And I'm quite shocked because they're two big guys that said yes to me. So we're setting that up, and then I talked to Kingard after the show last night. Greg said, "Hey, I would like to do this again, so we're going to set up times to do other shows with him again." But I already nailed it down. So the Video Game Awards show is December 12th. Okay, so right here on GXG, it's always on Thursday nights, right? That always falls on the GXG. So it's going to be me, Sarge, Greg Owens, and Kingard, and we're all going to watch the Video Game Awards show together and do a little peanut gallery commentary on the show when it happens. So that'll be happening on December 12th.
I'm definitely gonna be drinking on that one.
So that'll be happening. Other than that, I do appreciate you guys coming out. There is no show tomorrow. I don't think I'm on Lono's show. They didn't contact me today, so I might stream in the morning, do more gameplay. If not, then I'm just gonna take the day off. And you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.
Come on, guys.
They're two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.